Last thing people want to see.
Someone's been to practice. Oh boy. Okay, what we into today? Um, what's happening?
Well, plenty of stuff.
No
Like,
damn, no damn, plenty stuff.
two man, but
It's been a slack week, and really, with
we
big
ain't going.
news,
We start full too big.
with big news. Besides what the only thing we ain't talk about is what been happening big is what Deshaun Watson, and that could be a that could be a that could be a whole issue in Cleveland. Because I don't see what God happened. But the best thing the Browns could do is please better pray that man get cleared before season start. Because you gonna have two quarterbacks you paying all this money to, and ain't none of them gonna play. Because if I is Baker, but you must see think but anyway. No, we go. Think I you think I is a county. You done gonna get your star QB. You done introduce him as the starter. All this while. Now when he facing criminal charges and can't play, probably suspended. You think you gonna use me for probably the first 6 games, a suspension, 8 games, and then you can turn the key over him and say, oh, well, we can ship you off to friggin' one third team, probably Dolphins or Jets or something. No man. I can tell him cool, but if that's what you all pick, do what y'all gotta do then. If I was Baker, other than sell my house in Cleveland, other than I'd done been ready to go because you done show me what you into. And it ain't just that, oh, you get this player as a free agent. You give up draft picks. You give up first round picks for must the next 2 years, second round picks for the next 3 years. You give up all type of assets for this QB. And you won't even give me no extension. And then you think I get if I was bigger, but I wasn't playing. Yeah, it ain't cool.
I mean, thing is, nigga has to be traded. They tell him no, and then when they realize he's getting your boy, he soften up their stance and still flicking holding on them like you say for insurance policy.
Yeah, but the funny
So
thing is, Deshaun say when they say Deshaun was getting to Cleveland, Deshaun say no because he have a no trade clause. He was like, "But yeah, I get to Cleveland." Then Cleveland
right,
was like, "But we give you like 240
two
mil off the bat."
okay, 240
Dog
mil.
say anyway, boy, I ain't gonna lie. Cleveland like a second home to me, boy. I ain't gonna lie, but I like down there to Cleveland. That time Baker looking like this boy never play a snap for y'all, and you bought the game 240 mil. I've been here for the past 4 years suffering in this division with y'all, and y'all can't even give me one 2 year, 3 year extension for a little 100 mil. Everything cool, brother. Like
I
I said,
ain't, but
that's the ultimate disrespect, bro.
it's the ultimate respect. But I mean, ain't much teams breaking down the door to get Baker. That to me is the crazy part. But like he had like Baker had a bad season last year, but you feel as if he had that bad to where no team think he
No,
was taking a fly on like that weird to me. But honestly,
it don't be the player, you know. A lot of times it's be the asking price of these GMs. So a lot of times they kill your career because GMs come in talking about, oh, well, you know, Baker was a first round pick. So it's
number
like
one,
they thinking, but I gotta get at least a second round minimum for Baker or one. If it's a third round, I must be getting two third rounds or three third rounds for the next 3 years. And then fellas coming to you like, bro, this ain't even your starter. Like, how you want a first round pick or a second round pick for a QB you ain't gonna use no how? And you still gotta let him go in free agency because you can't resign him because you just give Deshaun Watson is now the second highest paid uh, quarterback in the NFL after, well, third highest after Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, it ain't cool. I tell him, cool, I'll just wait it out. What I gave you 2 and 3 draft picks for, and he could be a free agent next summer regardless. He might even be a free agent this summer because y'all might have to release him because either you can kick up a fuss or y'all can't pay for the extension. So it's like, what I gave you draft, you put yourself in a tight. If anything, you should have put Baker in a part of that Deshaun trade, and he could have gone to Houston. He ain't like nothing in Houston.
I suppose to be as well. You gotta make him a part of that. But he could get used as a guinea pig for real though. Until this thing clear up, because this thing, I mean, I thought it would have been the way the Browns moved. I thought it would have been clear up sooner, but it seems like a lot of new stuff starting to come to light now. And a lot of heat coming to Sean Watson way now, so it could be tight. It could be tight. I don't really feel sorry for Baker, but it's still a crazy considering that dog did have a promising career. Just had a bad season last year.
I used to feel sorry for Baker until I realized this season that Baker is the problem. The past couple of seasons, I used to give him a little slack. Then it was like, okay, when he first come to Cleveland, he was there to fix the situation. And he win a couple of games, but Cleveland used to be them teams who was win like 2 games a season, 4 games max. So when Baker come there, they start winning like 6 games, 7 games. So it's like, yeah, I know Baker team, Baker solid, he better than that Johnny Manziel crap experience experiment that they had. So I was like, okay, Baker could hold down the fort. Then I was like, hold on, they adding pieces now. You get Jarvis Landry. Okay, you ain't get no excuse. Then they go on and make a big splash. You get Odell. Oh, okay, I see this looking good now. Then you already had Nick Chubb, who was up and coming. And then you go and sign Kareem Hunt. I was like, hold on now. This offense is a wicked offense. And then I realized that, okay, Oda, all the names I just called, now you have more talent than Baker on that offense because he ain't better than none of them 4 players that I just called. So now Baker just gone from saving the offense and making them look average at best, at middle of the park, to now he being the weakest link because now they bring in 4 other players who better than you. And then they go on defense, they had Davian Clowney, they got Denzel Ward, they got all type of pieces they put in on defense. I think Sheldon Richardson at one point went there. And
Hmm.
then you also had Miles Garrett, who was basically defensive player of the year if Aaron Donald wasn't a great superstar. But it's like, what? And you still can't win. I mean, they were 1 game away from the Super Bowl that year when they,
Yeah,
not this year, that year when they went against the Chiefs
previous year.
and lost on that bogus crap in the fourth quarter. So I was like, okay, that's when I was on that Baker train. Like, okay, Baker wasn't that bad. But now, it's like, boy, Baker is the problem. And then
Yeah,
Odell
but
just exposed it. This
Odell,
season, Odell put the icing on the cake.
yeah, that situation ruined him. That situation exposed everything. And then, like I tell people, but nigga, I wouldn't be surprised if nigga put a hit on the daddy boy because he would the daddy make a whole highlight tape and post it for everybody to see. So even if you didn't think Baker was a problem, you had a lot of evidence to say otherwise, right? That's why media and things and social media and things be so powerful too. But yeah, but I mean, Baker had a promising career, like you say, with the Browns his rookie year. It was only one way for them to go. That was up. They couldn't get much worse than what they already had. Worst record in the league. Really couldn't get much worse. So he looked good as the best offensive option. But like I tell people, you want to see how good a person or player is. You gotta look at see how they perform when they have a team around them. Because it's easy to perform when you're the only person there. You know what I mean? You could, and you given free reign. To do whatever you want. Not to say that don't mean you ain't talented, because you probably are talented. But when you gotta perform with a team, that's the hard part. When you gotta make the entire recipe work, when you gotta keep mouths fed and keep this one happy and keep that one happy or whatever, and you gotta also still focus on winning, that's when everything becomes difficult. So I think that's the biggest thing with Baker. He didn't balance that last year, and he's suffering for it right now. I mean, I don't think this could be his final chance as a starting quarterback, but it could be rough for a
I
minute.
mean, it ain't gonna be his final chance, but number one, he definitely getting the big payday that he thought he would get probably a year ago when coming off a 1 win from the Super Bowl. And number two, this also goes that to my point of legacy when it comes to winning. Because at the end of the day, Baker could have been Baker, and you could be the same exact person you are with the same exact stats. And people will say, oh, stats make the player, and stats make this, and stats make that, and all that crap. But when it comes down and boils down to the end of the day, it's wins. When you come to GOAT conversation, or even when you come to good quarterbacks, or even when you come to paying people, it's how much wins you can get for the team. Like people ain't paying you to come out here and drop 4 touchdowns and lose. Look at Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston had games where he threw 5 touchdowns. Four touchdowns. I talking about back to back games. Dog was on like a 3, 4 touchdown spree for like 3, 4, 5 weeks. And then you come back and be like, oh, but how much wins y'all get? Y'all finish the season 6-10, 7-9. No, big brother. Take this little 14 mil and try and go that way. But it's the same thing, like I say, it's all about winning. And Baker Mayfield had the team to win over the years and just never got them over the hill. Now, if he did, if that one drive actually was a part of his downfall, if they won that game, and even if they just made the Super Bowl, not even won it, he would have had a better chance of either getting that contract extension last year, or he'd have had a better chance now to say that, hey, I carried the Browns to the Super Bowl. How much quarterbacks could say in their lifetime that they carried the Browns to the Super Bowl? So the fact that you don't win, like I glad this year's Super Bowl champion proved that because you had a guy in Matthew Stafford who had years and years of good stats, yards, completions, passer rating, but the Detroit Lions was garbage. Now all of a sudden, you go to a team, you win a Super Bowl. He was one of the most popular quarterbacks in the world. If you ask people 2 years ago, the majority of people, not just sports fans, of course, football fans know who Matthew Stafford is. But if you go ask, like, especially like people ask like random women, oh, do you know Matthew Stafford? Be like, does he play for the Yankees? Like that probably would have been your response. Now you can go ask any random person if they know who Matthew Stafford is, and 8 out of 10 of them say, well, of course, that's the Super Bowl winning quarterback. So it's like winning gives that edge over stats.
Um,
It always has and it always probably will because winning plus stats is better. But if you separate it and say, would you rather be a stats guy like in basketball we'd use is like let's say Iverson? Would you rather be a Iverson or would you rather be a Robert Ory? And some
well,
people might say Iverson because of the this, because of that, because of the next. But Ori been to the pinnacle. Ori hit big shots. Ori closed out games and he have championships. You really just won't be the guy who used to score 40 points and do this and do that. And Iverson is a great player and a Hall of Famer.
yeah.
And Robert Ori, I don't think in the Hall of Fame.
No,
But to
you.
be honest, boy, them seven, you know what it is to celebrate seven, seven wins, boy.
Rob, Robert Ory probably feel like he should be in Hall of Fame based on
Exactly,
that. That's
and
feel that way. Um,
that's just it.
but it is like I said, it is winning. Winning is what you play the game for. Like, I mean, everybody says I mean, you play the game to be the best at it, and stats come along with that. But everybody want to win. No one want to lose, right? That's the ultimate goal. So even when people try to devalue winning, it's crazy to me because that's why you play. That's the first reason you picked up a basketball or you picked up a football to win. You picked up to win, to beat the person next to you or to win the championship at the end of the year. So it is what it is. But that point you made with Matthew Stafford, it talks about, like you said, you talk about how you could have all the stats, but until you in a winning situation, um, you know, stats don't really matter. You have to produce in that winning situation, which is what Matthew Stafford did. Do you think that's the gamble? Because I don't think we talked about this trade. Do you think that's the gamble that the Colts now are making by picking up Matt Ryan, a guy who, although he's been to the Super Bowl before, has had down seasons, but stats wise, his stats are pretty decent. As long as you look at him in a favorable light. Do you think that's the gamble they're making with picking him up?
Never like Matt Ryan. Never like Matt Ryan.
I know that is gonna be your response.
I honestly don't. The reason why I don't like Matt Ryan is because sometimes you have in careers where players make other players. Like you have careers where you could see like, okay, like let's use basketball for instance. You have a Tim Duncan who's a superstar. And Tim Duncan could always be Tim Duncan. But then you have certain players on that team who you know couldn't play other players. That's almost like what I use with Draymond. Like you got a player who could be on this team, you could so called like, oh, you're like run on with that crap or the whole uh heart of the team and he is the leader and deep like
Yeah,
that's
we
crap.
we
Put him
get
on
tricked.
any other team, garbage. So my thing is not to say that he is not like he's bottom of the barrel, but Matthew Stafford to me was always overhyped because the come on now, Julio Jones is a cheat code. Next to Megatron, I don't think I've seen the one with the height and the speed and the catch radius that Julio Jones has. A lot of people don't realize that at that size it's very hard. Like Megatron was 6'5", Julio Jones them like 6'4". Like Metcalf probably now is one of those guys, and even Metcalf he ain't really that possession catcher like whatever. Now Metcalf could outrun you and bully you on the field, but I talking about a guy like Julio Jones who you could really go to down the field straight through. Guys now like Cooper Cup or DeAndre Hopkins, they smaller, they like 6'1" and stuff, and they possession catches and they good. But I don't believe with that size, that big 6'4", 6'5" frame, 250 pounds, almost like he was a linebacker slash tight end type size, but you could legit beat most cornerbacks, honestly, is be actually smaller than wide receivers. Most cornerbacks would be like 5'11", 5'10". Darrell Reeves them was 5'10". Most of them, Champ Daly, them was 5'11". Like most of the great cornerbacks is be shorter than wide receiver. Even Josh Norman them was like 6 flat. Richard Sherman was probably one of the biggest recent good corners I know, and he was 6'3". He still was below the average wide receiver at 6'4", 6'5". So it's like you had Julio Jones, you had Calvin Ridley, you had well, we didn't even talk about Calvin Ridley because that boy somehow. But you had multiple weapons. You had, and then on top of that, you had a crazy defense. You had Trufant, I think Desmond Trufant, who was one of the top cornerbacks of the league, and you had a 28-3 lead, bro. Like that was one of the probably one of the in my lifetime. That probably is one of the most
So
disappointing
you
part.
better hold it against him. He gave your boy a
What?
championship. You should have liked him.
That was the way. Trust me. That was like I said. That was at one point. That was literally one of the most disappointing parts of me watching football in my career. Them Eli Manning Super Bowls didn't even hurt me as much because I know we had a chance at the end. But you know that there's a team got you down 28-3 at half time. But you know what it is, me sitting down in my Tom Brady jersey and the Patriots down 28-3, and I sitting on pun couch, and everybody around me talking dead stink. Oh, this guy fell off a cliff. This play is garbage. Your team is the waste. Y'all is this and that. And Matt Ryan gone right there and turned me into a friggin' sports superstar as I sit there with my drink in my hand all night unbothered. And Pun was there. I think Amjal Tamari was there. They could attest to you. I was sitting there, I was like, boy, we can win this game. Now, to be honest with you, at the start of half time, I was talking in my head. You know, when you just saying, boy, we can win this game. It's almost like how LeBron fans now will say, oh, boy, we can win the next game, knowing that LeBron is garbage and you coming out to lose next game. But I was like, boy, damn, 28-3, we can lose next, we can lose this game, but I got to keep face. Then when I look, 28-10, whoa, I still saying, but we can win this game. But in my head, I was like, but ain't no way. The way this Falcon play, don't forget, the Falcons had one of the number one offenses that year. So I was like, yeah, the Patriots might score. But ain't no way we can keep them off the board for so long. Like, you keep them off the board a whole half, and they just put up 28 points in the first half with Julio Jones? Come on now. It's crazy. So I was like, damn, yeah, we lost this one. And I look, 28-17. I said, at least we make it respectable. You know that, like, you only get beat like Peyton Manning. When Peyton Manning gone to the Super Bowl against the Seahawks and get destroyed, must see 38-3 or something like that. I was like, okay, at least Tom Brady make it respect. Because that was what people was bringing up too. They was like, oh, he can get destroyed like Peyton Manning. I was like, she, at least he make it close. So at least I could say Tom Brady put up a fight. Boy, when I look, 28-24, I say, oh, flip, movie now, movie.
No,
Wait,
oh,
Matt
okay.
Ryan,
So
I
my
realize Matt Ryan do a heap of crap. And then At that point, I think it was one when he do a fumble when it was like you see a blitz. Like Belichick can even disguise his blitz. Like you watch what he was Hightower. Hightower come off the left side, unblock, and you saw everyone come down to the line on a third down. And I was like, why? Why? Like, even if, like, the whole thing is you up and you see a blitz coming, either it's a quick pass or I would even still run the ball because even if they tackle you for a loss, the clock runs. But by you actually fumble the ball, you lose possession and you stop the clock. You make it even easier. So I was like, by Matt Ryan, I ain't gonna lie. Matt Ryan could never play for a team I ever pulled for. And it's just that stigma, that's that stench, that's that stigma of
That's a stench. Well,
by Leo, by that right there was what think about it. That was one of
crazy.
the worst Super Bowl losses of all time. Even
See, let
with
me
Peyton Manning getting blowout, which one you think was worse? Peyton Manning getting blowout by 30 something points, or you being up 28-3 and losing that game?
I mean, my Rhino was worse, but let me just give you some context, right? I said that. Do you think uh because we talked about the Matt Stafford trade, right, and how that worked out perfectly for the Rams? I said, do you think that was the mindset of the Colts saying, let's
No.
take on a fly on a guy like Matt Ryan, a proven quarterback
Proven
who
doer.
see and
Right.
the
See,
person said
I expected. I was gonna say,
proven quarterback.
was was the question, are the Colts a contender now that they got Matt
They ain't a
Ryan?
contender, but
So if they're in a contender, then how you could think it's the same thing?
Uh,
this
um,
I talking about their thought process.
The
They ain't a
Rams was a
contender right now.
contender. Once you get Matthew Stafford, we all know that damn, that's a super team. The
No,
Rams
but
was actually a contender.
let's take a look though. The Colts may be a great quarterback away from contender. Now we don't know how much Matt Ryan could give, right? But the Colts got some stuff there,
the
boy.
Colts is a pretty good team, bro.
They
Real.
got some stuff there,
I
right?
agree. I think depending on which version of the Matt Ryan comes,
No man,
they
it no
could be a
depend. It don't
contender,
know
bro.
which version. You don't come
Yes.
with that. Let me show you. If you was a good quarterback, you know what version you're getting. The difference between Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford is this. Matt Stafford never had a good team. But Matt Stafford, if you go back and look at the records, Matt Stafford used to
Hmm.
put up 5,000 yards. Matt Stafford used to throw 30 something touchdown. And these were with bad teams. The difference is when Matt Ryan actually looked good was when he had good teams. The years when Matthew Stafford looked good was when he had Julio Jones at his peak, when he had guys at his peak, when he had a defense at his peak. So when he looked good, they were actually good seasons. When he didn't have anybody, he looked like trash. Matthew Stafford was always a, let's say, he wasn't no top five, but he was like that bottom side, a top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback. So all you were saying is, I could put a Matthew Stafford on a good team and he could win. Because guess what? We never see him on a good team. With Matt Ryan, we done see him on a good team and he done pull up.
He gets
And
Okay.
that was any good years.
he was a half away from winning the Super Bowl.
A
However,
half, he could have
exactly.
been
However,
wow.
the question was, do I think it's the same train of thought? And I do think it's the same train of thought they
Can't
was
be.
having in that,
I
you
would have
put
picked
up.
up Jimmy Garoppolo and have a better chance of winning than
Yeah, but they
Matt Ryan.
scared. But
Nah,
but however,
What?
but
At this point in his
Jimmy
career,
Jimmy
Science,
just had
nah.
Jimmy just had shoulder surgery. Every team's scared of that right now. I mean, I don't know
I had to
how
pick
But
up
much.
Jimmy
Baker
is a
Mayfield
player.
and
Come
have a
on,
better
come
chance.
on,
Like
man, come on, man. See, nah,
see, I
you just
tell you
gotta.
running over, man. Honestly, I
What?
tell you.
At this
Listen,
point in their career, Baker Mayfield just was talking before Grayling come out. Baker Mayfield was carrying the Browns almost to the Super. He
and
was
we
one
just talked
quarter
about how he
away.
sabotaged their season last year. We just
Yes, he
talked
was, and
about
exactly we watched Matt Ryan sabotage a better team. So it's the
And
same thing. You
it.
can't. And
you
Baker
know,
Baker
don't make it
Mayfield
now.
been in the league what 4 years. He still have probably an upside. Matt
No,
Ryan, we know for sure, do not have an upside. He is
you
not
don't
going to
got.
get any better
But
than he
but
was.
but you're not looking for a quarterback with upside. You say this in the group every single day. Championship windows in the NFL is small. The Colts championship window was very tiny.
What
They don't have
championship window
time.
they in? They reached the window yet?
If they get a good
Give it a
quarterback,
reach yet.
if
They
they
ain't
get a
even
good
reached this window
quarterback,
yet.
Give it a
Nigga
reach
talking
yet.
about this window small. You gotta
they
reach
got
the
they got
window, boy.
they got a top five running back. top three running back.
top three. Uh,
for
They
now.
get great defense.
Good defense.
They need help in the receiving corps because their best receiver is still what you call Moore is injured. Um,
Ty.
if their best receiver is Ty, they need some help. So yeah, they need some help in the receiving end. If
Plenty
they get
receivers out there.
a sensible above average quarterback, they could compete
they can make
way
some.
better than they competed last year.
Listen, if you ain't realized it yet, obviously you only watched the Colts over the past 3 seasons. The Colts, obviously, their manager or their owner is obviously friends with the Dolphins owner. He ain't trying to win. He telling them, "Boy, listen, we just here to fill seats." Look at the year before that. They hired they got Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers. Actually, if you look at stats, Philip Rivers have a better statistical career than Matt Ryan. And what will Philip Rivers come and do? None. Then you was like, okay, maybe he was too old. He was on the decline. You go on and you trade it now. You couldn't even pick this guy up for free. You go on and trade for Carson Wentz, someone who was on another team before that ACL injury. Carson Wentz was on pace to win MVP that season.
Yeah,
When he went down with the
And
Eagles,
when
yeah.
he went down, he was ahead of Tom Brady that year to win
he's going to win
MVP.
MVP and he's going to win the Super Bowl. So
Look at this guy
it's
now.
crazy.
Stop it.
That's
Stop it.
crazy.
He
Those
probably
can do
wouldn't have
that.
win.
If
He
Nick
probably
Foles
wouldn't have
do
win
it,
the Super Bowl. He probably wouldn't have win. Like I say, it's always very, but not because Nick Foles did it. Means if Nick Foles
No,
coming
we
and
agree. We
sling, he
agree.
might
We
have
agree.
gone in there and say, "Boy, I don't want to fumble this up, and let me just hand off to the running
Okay,
back."
but okay,
But
but the,
anyway, my point
I don't
is,
I don't think the Carson Wentz pickup was a bad pickup.
it wasn't.
no, I don't
But
think it
what
was.
did it turn out? Did they even make the playoffs this year with Carson Wentz?
No,
No, but I
And that
think
wasn't even, that wasn't even a bad pickup.
the Carson Wentz pickup speaks to what Green is saying. You taking a chance on potential. If you say you pick a guy like Baker Mayfield, you looking more so for trajectory, right? A Carson Wentz pickup, I think that was a low cost or
That was a
low
low
risk,
cost now because he's
low
salary
risk,
big.
low risk, high reward type of play, right? But with Matt Ryan, you get more of a proven commodity in terms of what he actually is, what he actually brings to the table. Now that might not be elite quarterback play, but that's what you're getting more or less with Matt Ryan.
At this point in his career, what are
yeah.
you
I
getting
mean
from Matt
From up
Ryan
there.
at this point in his career? What did he
that
do? What did he do last season that impressed you?
that now to answer your question, Sam,
Look at him.
yes, I think that was their train of thought. But
They
do I
already tried
agree?
this with
Now,
Do I
do I think it would
agree
work
with
with
out?
their
Philip
train of
Rivers.
thought?
That's a different question. Do
That's
I
what I'm
think it
telling
would work
you.
out? No.
They
But
just throwing cards in the. They just going after whoever they could get. That's all.
That's all
Because you
true.
just go on the old guy way with Philip Rivers. That ain't work. You go on the young guy way with Carson Wentz. That ain't work. Now you go on back to the old guy way with
I
Matt Ryan. Oh, come on.
I would X Factor. I would have tried Jimmy G before I tried Matt Ryan for
Exactly.
sure.
Even with
Injured,
that shoulder
oh
thing,
wait,
yeah.
I would not have done that. But let's
Jimmy
honestly, my
G.
Ryan's the best they could get. But I'm saying
I mean, wait,
it
okay. Even
works.
if you don't go Jimmy G, look at all the other quarterbacks that moved this on. You let Russell Wilson get traded. You ain't
Now,
try to
I
put your
always
hat
got
in
to
the
bring
ring.
that first
You
start.
let Deshaun Watson get traded. You ain't put your hat in the ring. You let other fellas go on other places. Marcus Mariota, people just forget Marcus Mariota is actually a pretty good quarterback. He always just gets stuck
He's a starter
behind
now, right?
other good quarterbacks. No,
No,
Marcus
someone he's a
Mariota.
starter now.
Yeah, he
Cleveland.
went to who just traded the quarterback? No, he ain't going to Seattle. He ain't going to Houston. He going to one team that needed a quarterback.
Yeah, I remember.
It
Yeah.
wasn't the Raiders. Where you going? Jacksonville? No, Jacksonville, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But Marcus Ariori was on the hook. You ain't let him go. Now you got Jimmy Garoppolo still out there beating. You got Jameis Winston, even though actually Jameis Winston's playing pretty good before he got injured that last
Yeah.
year. After he had the eye surgery, he wasn't throwing as much interceptions as he did the
No, but
year
you remember we
before.
was talking about Sean Payton had him on a leash in terms of how far you could, how much you could have thrown.
Yeah.
But
Who
but regardless, it was a pretty good season for him before the injury.
Relative to what he
exactly?
was producing before.
So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
like you had options. This was and plus you have a draft coming up. So it's like I wouldn't even trade for Matt Ryan until I had to try my hand in the draft, see if I could get me a quarterback first. And then if not, then I can say, okay, cool, let's pull the trigger on Matt Ryan. You think I pulled on Matt Ryan before the draft? So that means I definitely ain't getting no first round quarterback. If they do draft a quarterback, it ain't gonna be no higher than the third round because that wouldn't make no sense. You have other holes to fill, and this is a wide receiver heavy draft. So of course, if I was the Colts, you gotta go wide receiver first round. You need a wide receiver.
And that's probably
Man,
the case.
I'd even give Carson Wentz a second chance before I
Stop it.
say go trade for
I
him.
would have given Carson Wentz
Yeah.
one more year. I
Stop
think me personally would have given him one more year
Stop it. Okay.
just to
I,
see, just to get him fit in because Carson Wentz did come in late last year and he didn't have time to
I would
settle
say
in,
he finished
and
off
he
the
had
season.
injuries
He finished off the season strong. I would say that. He finished off the season rather strong.
and he was injured.
Um,
I mean, he was injured, but
but that's the thing. He always injured. Yeah, it's a funny thing. Now, like I say, I surprised they probably didn't give a guy like Baker strong look for real. But I understood their train of thought. Although I don't agree that it's going to work out. Obviously, I don't think it's going to work out. But I understand the train of thought. Beyond just getting another white quarterback.
now I must say, Matt Ryan is a streaky quarterback. So don't be surprised, but don't be fooled if Matt Ryan didn't start off the season hot. You could see the Colts with that good run game and Matt Ryan coming there playing conservative. You could see the Colts start off the season on a hot streak. But to be honest, Matt Ryan is just, I can't say a poor man's. Matt Ryan is a rich man's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He can give you a hot 4 to 6 games, and he can start off that season blazing. But I
Normally,
guarantee you, he ain't gonna fit. First of all, he ain't gonna play all 17 games. That's number one. And number two, boy, that heat is sizzle off quick. He'll give you
I,
that 46 games, and then after that, but you'll be trying to figure out how this boy make this roster.
normally if I knew Fitzgerald name was gonna pop up in this conversation at some point.
Fitzpatrick, you don't even know your favorite player.
Fitzpatrick name is gonna pop up in this way. Love to call Fitzpatrick name.
I
I don't
told him, I
understand
called
that.
it last year.
But
Fellas, they're talking about I wish on injury. I wish on injury, but
You
my
wish all
lord.
the tree, right?
My lord. It's like, boy, I say, boy, Fitzpatrick came in mid season. When I look game one, Fitzpatrick out.
no, but
Hey, there you
you
go.
made it. You said Fitzpatrick will not finish the season. But he said as a
That's a
starter or on
startup.
the team
That's a
or something
startup.
like that. Then dude gone down injury in week one, and you legit counting it as a win, as a
Nigga say,
prediction.
yeah, I tell
Because
you.
I told you, I say either he can have a hot streak and he can get benched after a certain point of time, or this boy always injured. Like Fitzpatrick is win the start, like he always a start of a quarterback two, and then he's come out and be hot and win quarterback one position, and then let's go down with injury. Like he never is finished.
He's be doing voodoo and thing in practice. Like,
No, but Matt Ryan is streaky for dude. Like he some games he'd be like, bro, seriously that where this was all season, and then
Because at
I
this
mean,
point in time, I think he's just a gunslinger. So it's like I can throw either 5 touchdowns or I can throw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Pick your poison. And then what this guy, there no, I can't say that. There's no such thing, and then ain't no good quarterbacks in the draft. Because one thing they can say, you might can say, top heavy quarterback draft. But wait, one thing I learned with every draft, you got sneaky guys. Guys like, look at Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't a top 5 quarterback. He wasn't a top 5 pick, I mean, when he came out. Certain guys, even Doctor was drafted in the third round. I wouldn't even start with the Tom Brady stuff, so don't let's go there. But you can't say good draft, no good quarterback. I actually saw what the guy named Willis. What do you name? The black quarterback who was doing the pro day. Boy, that boy got a that's a nice QB. Now they try to box these guys and make them into scramblers and runners and all type of crap, and try to turn them into wide receivers. But boy, that guy, if he go to a solid organization, I feel he could be a good QB. Now the problem is these guys end up like how your boy ended up with the Bears last year. It's like, boy, you got so much talent, but then when you go to these crap teams, it's be like, ain't nothing much you could do. And Allen Robinson gone too, so it's like, who you can throw the ball to this year?
did y'all see the notification about um what the Saints backup QB name?
Yeah, who Andy Dalton?
Taysom Taysom
Taysom Hill.
First of
Taysom Hill.
all,
They
He's no
moved him to
longer
tight
the
end.
backup QB.
Right. They dropped
He
you that. So,
Yeah, but 4 seasons too late.
like- so like what's so like I mean like I don't understand the thought process in that, especially going back to last season when he got that big contract.
Yeah, the big contract with Sean Payton, because that's Sean Payton idea.
Yeah.
Sean Payton is no longer there. So it's like, now the new coach saying, but play your position. Don't forget, I was the one who told y'all that, but you don't go with hype. Some fellas just have a good run, but I never saw that way as being,
A
number one,
quarterback?
a good quarterback. Because even when he was quarterback, he was getting more rushing yards and passing yards.
Yeah,
Yep.
he wasn't
So
doing.
it's like you just was basically running the Wildcat from 2009, but instead of using two running backs, you was just using your tight end because all he used to do is hike the ball and run up the middle. I mean, every now and again he'll sneak you with a pass, but he was never quarterback material. They just was really trying to fill a hole since Drew Brees gone and Jameis wouldn't stay healthy. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
They thought they had something there.
let's throw this guy in.
Yeah. They thought they had something there. But like I said, that's about 3, 4 seasons too late. Uh, it's about time they rectify that situation and put him in the positions that
And
he actually could play in.
I actually think that in order to, because remember they had to resign Jameis. In order to resign Jameis, Jameis probably tell them, but I ain't competing with no tight end for my job, big man. Pick what y'all gonna do. If y'all gonna resign me, put that guy at tight end where he's supposed to be. If not, then let him be the quarterback. Y'all done paying him like a quarterback. He making more than Jameis.
Yeah, but I mean, are you really going to compete with him? It's really no competition. I
It
mean,
really
Yeah,
like,
isn't. Man.
yeah,
it really isn't. But he been who competed for the starting job last year.
Taysom and Jameis.
All right then. So they really shouldn't be, but for some reason, dog can't line up on the line like regular tight ends. He won't be in the back here throwing ball.
I don't understand who telling me he's one way. I don't really understand. He is so content playing quarterback. I just don't understand that, boy. Like, wait, that's weird to me. What you think about them? See, they pick up uh Andy Dalton. What you think about getting Andy Dalton?
Just insurance. It ain't really nothing special. Andy Dalton
Yeah,
ain't coming here to do nothing with sense. All he is like I say, if Jameis go down, someone else to come in there and throw interceptions. So I mean, you ain't looking for Andy Dalton to do nothing with sense. Andy Dalton was in with the Chicago last year and couldn't barely beat the rookie. The rookie got injured, and that's how come Andy Dalton got playing. Then the year before that, he was in Dallas when that gone now, and he had a good team, Amari Cooper, all time Zeke, all these things, and he gone to Dallas and stink it up, and that was the year he could actually revive his career because Andy Dalton ain't been good since he left the Bengals, and he can't go back there because they have a new Red Rocket in town.
Real.
yeah.
So
No, I don't. I think Jameis should be a lot more comfortable now on his own. Um, he was actually having a career, yeah. Ironically enough, a career, yeah, in terms of not throwing picks. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
really feel like Sean Payton had him on a leash in terms of how much he could throw. So, without Sean Payton now, I'm curious to see if he can go back to his old ways, or if he's matured enough to say
When you're only
he
throwing
wants to
for
move the
100
ball.
yards, it's limited amount of times you get picks.
I mean,
100
But
yards.
I think that was Sean Payton's doing.
Jameis did sign a 2 year deal. I think Jameis know. Oh, I like because guys, these guys at that level is be very overconfident. But in my eyes, this is his last 2 years as a starter because number one, you're getting older. Fellas coming out every day, as we can see with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and all these young guns who coming out. And number two, bro, if you mess this up with the Saints, saving you where you gonna play the next 2 years. By that time, you could be even worse. You could be older, and all you can be is what Andy Dalton is right now. Jameis Winston can be getting signed on a little $5 million deal to go back up someone and some just as insurance to hold over for 1, 2, 3 weeks, 1 little 4 weeks, 6 weeks while someone getting over one ankle sprain or one little injury. That's all he can be for the tail end of career. So this them type of deals where you make provisions and invest in your 401k because this career could be over in about 3 years or so. No, like real talk, like Jameis, what 30 now?
He getting up there for real.
Jameis got to be between 30 and 32.
Yeah, but you ain't a young dude no more. Time is fly, bro. One
Exactly. I remember when James came in the
one
league,
three,
I
bro.
was actually a James fan at one
Yeah,
point.
bro. He was
But
very high prospect.
And not just time is fly, but like NFL careers ain't that long.
No,
exactly.
especially starting quarterback. You only got a leash. You only got so much amount of times before you mess up, and then people give you second chances and all that other stuff. And then after a while, it's just like, all right, but we didn't seen this story before.
Exactly. Once you ain't got that hype behind you, you gotta go. Like I said, look at quick how quick Baker rise and how quick Baker fall. Baker going from saving the Browns and carrying them to the playoffs to now I can't even get in the contract. And they bring someone else, a new guy in. So, hey, like I say, NFL window is short. You see Kansas City window over.
Speaking of Kansas City, let's talk about Kansas City.
Yeah,
'Cause,
let's have a realistic.
You want to understand?
yeah,
Yeah,
let's talk
man.
about
It's just real.
right?
No,
So
but
now,
I
elephant in the room is this: that they obviously got rid of uh, one of their best offensive weapons during this run.
Why?
Uh, why you say they got
You
rid of?
know why. Like I keep telling y'all, NFL from the owner standpoint is a business. Players think they run the league. You
yeah
know,
they
run the
can
league. Money runs the league. And at the
they
end of the
can
day, I have a salary cap.
they
I ain't
can.
going over the salary cap because salary caps have penalties. The more you go over the salary cap, the more penalties you play. That means you taking money out of my pocket now. But
Yeah,
yet you still want you still want your $30 million contract, right? But yet you taking money out of my pocket. No biggie.
understandable.
5 million, 500 million just gone to Patrick Mahomes last year. So every year now for the next what? How long that contract was? 7 years or something like that. Dog would be getting $50 million, $45 million for the next 7 years. That's number one. Number two, you had a choice. It's either extend long term Tyreek Hill or extend long term Travis Kelsey. Now, tell me, what is there easier to find? A top wide receiver or a top tight end?
All
It's
right,
only
see.
about it's only about 4 or 5 top tight ends in the league
Not
between
even,
Kelsey,
not even.
Kittle,
And Waller.
Gronk will lock up. Don't even look at Gronk. Waller, and probably I don't even like Miami, but that Kaseki boy, Kaseki Lindex. But yeah, other than them five, you getting basic tight ends after that. So it's literally only about the top five. With wide receivers, you got you got a top 10, top 15, top
15,
20.
yeah. We got
And to
about
be
15 of
honest,
them.
in my books, I can be real. Tariq Hill wasn't even top five.
I wouldn't go that far.
The reason why I say that, I talking about one on one route running, pass catching, one on one routes. Tyreek is not it. Now, if you extend the play, and because he have that speed, he can beat you downfield, and then you have a quarterback with a bomb arm. Now, this will get expose people. And I saw someone, I forget who this was, a guy from the Chargers. He say someone's gonna get exposed now. Because now, guess what? When this play break down and Tyreek Hill 60 yards down the field, you know who cranking up that left arm now to try and get the ball down the field? It ain't Patrick Mahomes no more. It's now Tua Tagovailoa. So, you really think Tyreek Hill can have the same effect in Miami that he had in Kansas City? Keep in mind now they have Jalen Waddle, who came out of the draft, and Waddle had one of the fastest 40 time, and he's one of the fastest wide receivers. How
Yeah,
much deep passes did Waddle catch last season from Tua?
right.
So if Waddle just as fast as Tyreek, and he ain't catching these deep passes, you can put Tyreek on the next side now, and all two of them could be blowing past the defense, But what happening after that? That ball dropping right in the middle of the field. And all you get is down and finish, down and finish. Let's replay it down, replay it down. Try again.
Basically, to control the arm so I could try and get at the
But he's saying wide
Tyreek.
receivers can when you're a speed wide receiver, that's almost like Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson was great when he had guys like McNabb who had a hell of an arm, and then Michael Vick after him who had a hell of an arm. When Deshaun Jackson go to these regular quarterbacks, not to say they don't have obviously they have NFL arms, but they don't have elite NFL arms. Only certain fellas can throw the ball 60 yards, 70 yards. Mahomes is one of them. Um,
Hmm.
what's your boy name? Your old boy Rogers is one of them. Um, who else have a cannon? Guys like Herbert. Herbert is one of the young guys who they sleep on. He have one of them. The Bills QB have one of them. Josh Allen. He have one of them. But other than that, Noodle Lamb like Matt Ryan them. Who you all got now? Matt Ryan, Noodle Lamb, Carson Wentz, Noodle Lamb, Tua Tagovailoa, whatever, Noodle Lamb.
We got
Um,
alligator.
yeah, these fellas ain't getting no ball 65 yards down the field without a running start. So when you done dropping back 5 yards, then you have a weak offensive line, fellas in your face. At least, like I said, Mahomes just throw them 60 yards off his back foot. He could throw them on the run. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers flick them ball sidearm and throw them 60 yards. Same thing with Herbert and Josh Allen. They could throw them ball off of, out of awkward positions, 60 yards. In order for Tua
Also,
to get that ball 60 yards, he got to drop back 10 yards. And then, when you take that two little skip step, he got to take that skip step and he pass to even try and even get that to about 40, 50 yards down the field. So I can be real. I don't expect um, Tua to have great stats, and I don't definitely Tyreek Hill is not going to be top five this year. Even if you all thought he was, I never thought he was. He might have been top 10, maybe not top five, but he definitely is not going to be a top five receiver this year. And for Kansas City, you just shrink the field for Kelsey. Because now, if you really watch their offense, Tyreek Hill was the guy who takes the top off. So a lot of times you had to send your cornerback and your safety for Tyreek Hill, and that left the middle of the field open a lot for Kelsey. But now, if you don't have that top off guy who could take the safety with him and demand that double coverage all the way down the field for 50, 60 yards, now you could sit a little bit more on Kelsey because who can go there? Juju? Juju's okay wide receiver, but he ain't no top five either. I don't even think Juju's top 10. So it's like,
probably not no more.
exactly. So it's like, who can take the
But
top off that defense and open up the field for Kelsey?
it could be an interesting experiment because I think with Kansas City, like you say, I think they betting on the fact that you could find similar options for a cheaper price, even if they don't give you exactly what they give you. They giving you something good. You see they pick up Juju, you see they pick up your boy Scantlin, um, and now they retain Kelsey. So it's um, like I said, I think if they could flip the picks because they got a good amount of picks for the Tyreek Hill deal into something into some other receiving options, then but you never know. But it'll definitely be a good experiment into like really what's the most integral part of your offense is the wide receiver position slightly bit overrated. I don't think it is, but like you say, I think you could find a lot of quality options out there. Um, and you and they might find some stuff in the draft as well. You know what I mean? That you can't rule that possibility out. So for me, even though they lost Tyreek, even though you was talking all that fool about, they win no clothes and all that stuff, I still don't see they win no clothes. I still think they have an
I,
opportunity.
their Super Bowl window close. Not
So,
them not being good window close. But Super Bowl, that close.
uh,
Bro,
I,
you see that
okay,
division now?
yeah, but I
You
agree.
got to get out of the division first.
I agree.
the vision is tough.
It's very easy to replace a good wide receiver versus a good tight end, right? So the decision was obvious, but I just don't get why these quarterbacks continue to take these huge. Well, I can't say why these quarterbacks, but why certain quarterbacks continue to take these huge paychecks. And Tom Brady already laid down the foundation.
No,
Tom Brady already laid down the the
no,
the the um
Don't
no,
get a bit
the
more hot.
plan, or you know what I mean, like
no,
the route it
man,
takes to be
no,
great. And these
man.
quarterbacks continue to do that. Like I mean,
Listen,
the foundation in there,
Tom Brady
the
teaches
blueprint,
you.
the
This is why I
blueprint is
like.
right there.
Guess what? You know why I like goats or certain goats who I call myself. Like in basketball, to be honest, Jordan might be the goat, but my goat really is Kobe because he do it off and on and off the court. But anyway, you know why I like Tom Brady? Tom Brady also teach you about life. You know what Tom Brady? Why Tom Brady say he could do that? Why these other fellas can't do that? My woman is make money, bro. So I can take 25 million home and we good. My lifestyle good. If these fellas take pay cuts, what your wife is do? Oh, she
I
don't
mean,
waiting. Oh, hold your lead down.
really
Hold your
wasn't.
lead down. Trust
I
me,
mean,
that makes a difference. If
yeah,
Giselle wasn't bringing
but
in 300
Tom,
million just as much as Tom, you realize that Giselle actually worth more than Tom Brady. Even though this
but
man played, if you play 20 seasons in the NFL, you don't think should be wait. Think about it. He made more than 10 million a year. So that means over your career, you have made about 250, 300, 400 million. And your wife still weight more than you, bro. It ain't cool. Trust
yeah,
me,
I think
it's a little easy to
regardless
take a pay cut.
regardless of how much she is worth, I think Tom still would have done what he did um just because of Belichick's influence on him, just because Tom ain't grow up in no single parent household like what I mean, like LeBron them who was struggling and he ain't used to money. Kind of he don't portray that level of
Krillin, Krillin,
desperation to me. Like
Krillin, Krillin,
how
Krillin.
dudes looking for the biggest paycheck possible. Like
Krillin.
Tom never portrayed that
I
side of
don't care what
professional
comfortable
sports to me.
childhood you have. At some point in your life, you're gonna realize your money, your parents' money, and your money. You see what Shaq say? Shaq
Yeah,
tell you,
right.
"Go, I rich. My
I'm not
trainer
saying
rich."
I'm not saying his parents' money is his. I'm just saying he wasn't desperate for money. He's not looking for the biggest paycheck, like how most professional athletes out
First
there
of
looking
all, it never
looking.
was no Belichick influence on him. It was because Belichick, he know number one, Belichick, he know coach who's gonna pay you. That's number one. But that don't mean why Tom Brady's taking pay cuts. It was also because Tom Brady realized Belichick gives me the best chance of winning. So if I want to win, I stay here. But if it was a situation where my wife don't make the super amount of money and I go in for the major paycheck, you think Tom Brady stay with the Patriots for 20 years?
Yeah,
He'd have been gone probably by after about 2007 when he was the
right.
MVP
Okay.
and gone for almost perfect season.
So at some point in his career, yeah, he would look for the big paycheck. But the point is, these guys like Mahomes, they must look for the big paycheck every time. You see what Doc just get? Oh, not just get, but you see, I mean, like
Now
it
it
just
also depends on your market. Now
okay.
Doc only get that because he's a quarterback of the Cowboys. Almost any other team, if Doc was a quarterback of almost the other 31 teams in the NFL, he would have not gotten that contract extension. We all know Jerry Jones is famous, famous. You see what he did to Zeke? He gives Zeke all that money, and Zeke must see.
Yeah.
Wait, Zeke can
I'm just
runs in the backfield now. Think about it.
I just don't understand what motivates players to there's two kind of players, ones that look for wins, ones that look for money. What motivates the ones that look for money and what motivates the ones that look for wins? I just don't understand.
I think everybody motivated by the same thing. Everybody want to win a championship at the end of the day. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
what the?
People
We just
Wait,
ignore it.
like fun after
but,
you say,
but
oh,
get your boys. But get your boys.
You say everybody motivated by money?
I think everybody motivated by everybody wants to win. You a lead player, you want to win, right? Some people look at it differently. Some people want to win at all costs, and they say, okay, well, maybe I want to take a pay cut here and there. And then you have some people who say, you know what, but I feel as if I could still win and still get my money. And we talk about it even in basketball. In basketball, it was like that for a while as well. If you wanted to win in basketball, you had to take a pay cut if you were a major superstar. After a while, people started to notice you could win and still make
And
your
still
money.
get your money, yeah.
So now I think in football, we're gonna start to see that transition as the Brady's start to phase out of the league. The guys who are pioneers behind, okay, let's take a pay cut to try to get the best roster around me, right? I think we can start to see that transition where guys are gonna be like, wait, listen, all us getting paid, one of us got to win. So and that's what it is at the end of the day. Like people starting to realize you could have your cake and eat it too, and it's probably not gonna happen right away, but it's gonna happen eventually.
Negative.
But but you know what it is to even I mean, I don't know how many guys go in the NFL saying I want to be the GOAT. I don't know. But to compete
Not
or to
much.
even
It's a
to
hard thing to aspire to.
right, I think it's
I
more
don't even think Brady could have predicted he would have
Exactly.
had a
right. Like
career
I
like
don't think you're right. You're right. But for someone with the skill that Mahomes has, that don't come around often, right? You ain't gonna see Matthew Stafford taking a pay cut and all of a sudden winning a ton of rings. It ain't gonna happen. Mahomes had that opportunity. Like for someone with his skill set, it's possible, and especially paired with Reed, that could possibly be a dynasty if they do it the right way. But money is the motivation, and
I gonna tell you that. Yeah, you play sports to win, but I could play. I play amateur sports. I play flag football and basketball now. I could win. I could get championships. I could get rings. I could get a trophy. But I don't get paid. That's the difference. When you go to pay professional, this is why they call it professional
yeah,
sport.
but
Professional sports means I get paid. And
I
if I is
understand
the best at my position in a
you should get paid
professional
the
league,
highest.
I need to be the highest paid
See,
at my position.
and that is where I disagree. I'm you the discussion ain't bro you getting paid or not.
We
That's not a
disagree though.
discussion. The discussion is
You
if
disagree
you's
with
the
that.
best, should you get paid the like you feel like you should get paid the most. So now you looking at dudes who getting these huge paychecks and you saying but and because
Exactly. You just
that's what
say
Cheetah
Doc get paid. I ain't taking less than Doc.
that's what Cheetah just did,
They
right?
just say he's the black Kirk Cousins. You really think I can take less than that? You
Well,
gotta
listen,
be crazy.
here's what
He
I
just
believe,
watched the
Graham.
boy get paid. You just leave Green Bay. So you say, well, listen, I need to get paid more than him.
Who get paid? Who leave Green Bay?
What the
Devante.
receiver name? Another receiver. Who's going in the Raiders, man.
Devante.
So he just watched Devontae get paid. He said, wait, listen, I need to get paid more than them. What y'all could do?
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
mean, like,
that's part of it, wait, bro. At the end of the day, you play this game to feed your family. Championships, yeah, they come, they go. At the end of the day, I'm not sacrificing because guess what? What Tom Brady did, keep in mind, Tom Brady has played what, 22 seasons? And even in them 22 seasons, Tom Brady only have 7 rings. So it's like, ain't nothing to piss you off. See, you saying this from a optimistic standpoint that, oh, if I
no,
take pay cuts, they still could build a team. I ain't the GM.
Get it?
I might take a pay cut, and then you'll still go out here and get me garbage. And then
right,
Graham,
what? Two,
right.
three
But
years
I'm
later
not.
from here,
Graham,
I'm the highest paid. And then on top of that, you surrounding me with
let me
garbage
get
with
your
the
hot take.
extra money.
But
Wait, everything.
I'm not saying.
Let me get your hot take.
I'm not saying take a pay cut for 22 years.
No, not for
But
22 years.
within your window, you should take a pay cut.
Okay,
No,
let me give you a hot
you
take, right?
crazy. And that's
You
my peak.
see, and that's where it comes back to you talk about the
You
people
know, we take,
aspire to be a goal or not, right?
you want to take pay cut be a good years.
I like I said, I don't think Tom Brady could even predict it that he would end up with having a career he ended up having. You don't really know, or these are things that you don't really do unless you're in that type of situation. It's easy to say, but I should take a pay cut to win a championship. But if you've never been in a situation where you've been close to winning a championship or where you win a championship, that's the last thing on your mind. You ain't thinking about taking
And
a
I
pay cut.
understand that.
You say, saying you thinking about getting as much money as possible. Now, if you don't
Right,
win one, two, three, you may say, you know what? In order for me to win more, I may need to take a pay cut, here and there, just to make sure we keep this roster together and all that other stuff,
right,
right? But you done been through a drought where you've been 7 years in the league. You all make the playoffs a couple of times. You get eliminated. It's a good feeling. It's a bad feeling. At the end of the day, you ain't really thinking pay cut. You thinking, hey, I earned my right. Hey, we if we could keep the team together, no matter how much money I'm making, as long as we keep this team together, we should still have a chance to win a championship. So, and like X Factor mentioned earlier, whatever, uh, athletes, I think we underestimate how super confident athletes are. Athletes are super confident. They they um they look at situations and the blind eye on the outside, us on the outside as fans look at it and be like, well, hey, this team ain't have no chance to win a Super Bowl. But they thinking in their head like, we got a good roster. Like we could
yeah,
we could really win this year. Like half how much I making. You know what I mean? We could win this year. You know what I mean? And I think that's how they approach it for the most part. Like I say, Tom Brady, special breed, right? You got guys like Tom Brady. You can compare to Tim Duncan and other sports. That's what they doing because they trying to win as much as possible. They already didn't get a taste of it, and they want to win as much as possible. But other people,
And even Tim Duncan wasn't really taking no big pay cut. He's taking less than he was worth, but he wasn't taking no big pay cut. But this goes to my point is you have to also realize I always tell you, we look at these guys as athletes and sports figures. Keep in mind these guys have personal lives. There's nothing more important than securing the bag for your family, bro. You might say, oh yeah, Super Bowl is good. Okay, and then when you win the Super Bowl, then what? You going home to your family, right? You got to realize you secure on the buy for your family. You secure on generational wealth. $500 million over 10 years or whatever. That's generational wealth. Your children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, whether they be bums and never go to school, never pick up a book a day in their life, can always have money. So at the end of the day, am I sacrificing that for another man? No, bro, get your own money up. You want to go down to Miami and get paid? Good. Go secure your generational wealth. But in Kansas
Yeah, you
City,
know,
if they can pay me 500 mil, okay, better paper. You think I can sit down at that table and say, man, but if I sign this right, we can't keep Tyreek. Or if I sign this, we can't keep Kelsey. Big brother, if you don't try, I get the Brinks truck ready. I can't just want cash. Revoice this up to the door. Let's ride. I want no
I,
check.
I honestly don't think players like that care that much about their legacy more than they do money. Though. Like, I mean, it's cool to say, yeah, um, I chasing the goat, but and like you say, Tom Brady wasn't even like trying to be the goat when he was just playing.
No, he just
He was
playing.
just yeah, he
Yeah,
wasn't
until a
like
certain point.
So this is
Until I
why
think
he
I think
retired.
after that, after he got that Seattle Super Bowl, and I think that was like four, and then definitely after friggin' Matt Ryan debacle, and you got five, then it was like, okay, now I have a chance. Because I think at that point, I think Tom Brady is starting to shut it down a little bit. And then he was like, damn, I got five. And then he started the whole Alex Guerrero health plan based thing. And he's like, wait, I really could get another 5 years out of my body. And then he won six. And it was like, hold on, we just beat the Rams handedly. We legit just beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. He's like, wait, I really, I don't think it was till like 2015, 2016 when he really had a thought that, hey, I could be the goal. I think his biggest competition at that time was passing like his peers, people like Peyton Manning, people like Drew Brees. Like it was passing guys who was in your generation or your time of playing, being better than Philip Rivers, being better than Bennett Roethlisberger. Then, as you pass those guys and you get to like five championships, six championships, then it's like, damn, hold on. I could beat Joe Montana. I could beat like every other player of all time. So, with that being said, like that was the part when it was GOAT situation. But going back to the money aspect, don't forget now, like I say, it's off the field. When it comes, see, like I said, we only see people. Look, think about NBA contracts. You had guys like Gilbert Arenas who stopped playing ball like 2009 or whatever. And these guys be getting paid until like 2015, Guys like Kevin Garnett, them
yeah, and then still get yeah, and
just
then
coming
still
off
get
people books, You got
Correct,
guys like
correct.
New World
Luol
Deng.
Deng still on the Lakers books.
Still
So
gonna
in
pay.
your eyes, you can say, oh, this guy isn't playing. He's a bum. He's a bust. You know what happened on the first and the 15th? My account getting debited 350,000 or 2.5 million, whether I play or not, because I already signed a guaranteed contract for the next 10 years. So for Mahomes, what if Mahomes goes next season and a lineman roll on his leg and fractures here? Who that was the other day? You remember your boy who was playing for the Redskins, who snappy leg in half, and his whole goal was just to come back and play. And being here for
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith.
That's right.
Alex Smith was the man before this guy even was in the league. Alex Smith used to run Kansas City. Like I said, don't forget, things changed very quickly. Guys like Carson Wentz them was the man. And then things changed very quickly. So it's like, you can't say, oh, because I was the best quarterback in the league today, I could take pay cuts, like you say, in my prime. Because guess what? You really think Patrick Mahomes could be the best quarterback in the league 10 years from now?
No,
Probably not. It's a very slim chance. So if I can capitalize while I good now, let me sign a paycheck because I don't watch guys like Alan Smith legit get roll up on and fall free guys, just a normal tackle play, snappy leg and all. He spent a whole year or two just getting back to play in the NFL. Then he played one more season and had to shut it down because yeah, your leg was good enough to play, but you will never be the same again.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I can secure that 50, the 500 mil. And if fellas got to go, but we still gonna be boys. Yeah, WhatsApp me, FaceTime me, Snapchat me, whatever. But big brother, let me get my bag, you get your bag. I think that's what Aaron Rodgers did. You might not know the behind the scenes, or we may not know the behind the scenes, but think about it. Before Aaron Rodgers
Rogers,
signed that
Rogers,
$50 million a year, he
he
had to
knew
call
what was
Devante
going.
Adams and say, big brother, what you into? Devante
Yeah,
say, boy, I've been saving you all these years. I need to get paid too. So Aaron say, oh, okay. All right. And after he hang the phone up, he probably call the GM next. Hey, before y'all pay this guy, I need to get paid. So we all pick your struggle. GM say, boy, we only can pay one of y'all. Boy, Devante, boy, it's been real, boy. You've been my top target. You've been bailing me out of plenty situations, but guess what? This team better gonna pay me 50 million a year. You think Devante can say, "Oh, I can play for 10 million to take a pay cut to play with the self-proclaimed GOAT."
Oh my god.
You think Devante Adams can say that? No, big brother.
What
Time
you
to
talking about
slide.
self proclaimed goat? No, he never
Uh,
called himself the
uh,
goat.
He did at one point. Remember that time? This was like 2 seasons ago when Tom Brady was leaving the Patriots and Aaron Rodgers was running on that season. I think this was after this was before his MVP season, but this was in the off season when they asked him some question. When they asked him, say, does he feel like he is the best player in the league? And he is like, I think I'm the best player to ever touch a football. It's like,
oh, come
what?
on, bro. That don't count, bro.
What?
That's just like him. That's like him picking up himself. John Moran said the same thing.
Which Amaran say?
He's the best player in the league. He always feel like he's the
He
best player
say
in the
he's
league.
the best player. There's a difference in saying he's the best player in the league and the best player to ever dribble a
That's
basketball.
that's just him bigging up himself. That's not him saying I used to
Yes,
go.
but
Context everything though.
it's either
Context
me
everything.
picking up myself in the moment because John Moran is confident that he's playing at a high level, or it's me picking up myself that I have of all, like ever to touch a ball. I'm the greatest player to ever touch a ball. You know what it is to say that? That's like, boy, like come on. There you go.
I'm
Whatever.
mad. Just may even notice to even say that. I sure no one else in the world noticed.
But trust me, I like when
I got
people do
you.
that because I pinpoint stuff like that. That's like when like Odell them. When he say but Baker's the problem, I want you to prove these guys wrong. So if you say certain things, boy, it's like you see the thing what I put in the group the other day about Draymond, right? When stuff come out your mouth, boy, I trust me, I don't start that, I don't save that,
You
I
gotta
don't print
respect. You
screen
gotta
that.
respect players for saying stuff like that. Though. Like I mean, like calling out themselves when they playing ball. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, with Draymond, what he said?
Boy,
Yeah.
Draymond. So it's calling out yourself when you're playing bad in 2022 when you've been playing bad from 2019.
Nah, he wasn't playing ball. Stop it
You
now.
kick,
Come on.
I mean, you kicking Draymond while he down, but you
Yeah.
can't
All
do
right.
Boy,
that.
Draymond, boy, that season when Steph was injured, the first time, boy, whenever Steph is not on that court, Draymond is that, boy, you remember when I was telling you, I said, boy, Draymond, you was talking about, oh, Draymond is hard and soul, and if he's on another team, he could make that other team a defensive team and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay,
No,
let
I
Draymond
say he
play.
helped out that team.
Yeah, he could help other teams. We say,
He
okay,
helped out
cool. I
that
say, I
team.
guarantee you. This the year when Durant left, gone to Brooklyn. Clay was still on injury because he hurt himself in the finals. And then Steph did break his hand. It was literally Draymond's team. You know what Draymond average gone to? His average gone from 5, 5, and 5 to 5, 5, and 5. It's like, boy, you made not one difference on this team, with you now being and you had he ain't like he had trash. He wasn't still probably wasn't the best offense player.
He ain't
the
had trash.
they had
Yes,
D'Angelo Russell at one point. They had Andrew Wiggins. They brought in.
they traded DeAndre Russell and Andrew Wiggins, so let's just
And how was Andrew
No,
Wiggins playing?
we have
they
to chill.
traded them. They traded them now. What?
Yeah,
But
they
this
traded them. They swapped
but
them.
this wasn't no All Star Wiggins. This was
No, but
regular Wiggins.
Wiggins ain't on
even
side this year.
now
I
think
mean,
about it.
don't mind the fact he ain't on side this year either. But let's keep
Even
it on.
regular Wiggins is a better offensive player than Draymond.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So it's like you ain't like, oh, you were stuck on this team where now you ain't an offensive player and you
No,
had to
but
be number one. You still wasn't number one in the offense.
my thing
But
is
you
this:
legit Ian make no difference impact.
I don't. But Draymond never said he was an offensive player. Draymond never said
It ain't
like
about being
I have a
offensive though.
video. I have a video on my phone. I can send that in the group, or I can let Pun play whatever one. Draymond, like I said, people get mad at Draymond antics. If you actually listen to him talk, he never says anything that's sounds arrogant or untrue. They ask Draymond, people say you are a product of Steph. How do you feel about that? He say, I am a product of Steph. He say, I'm not gonna lie, I am a product of him. I mean, if you playing with him and you don't get better, that means something wrong with you. So I am a product of him. I don't
Get
feel no
better.
way
See,
or
that's
no
the point.
shame
He try to
or
slick
no
that in
shame
there.
about
What
saying
you
that.
mean get better?
But
What he get better at? Setting screens?
He's a better. We agree that he's a better player in Golden State system as opposed if he was to anywhere else. He's a better player. Now he would still help other teams,
Wait.
but in Golden State system, he's a better player because Golden State allows him to play essentially a point forward type of role because Steph prefers to play off the ball. But Draymond itself, like I said, I don't understand why people just put these things on Draymond. Like I see the other day, Kendrick Perkins was saying how Draymond is the most important player on Golden State.
Well, you
And
can say
I was like,
anything,
but
Kendrick, but you can say
this is before Steph get injured this recently. He said, wait, Draymond's the most important player on Golden State. Of course, Steph get injured, and now they can't beat the Bobcats.
exactly. So I use the most important.
So
You
That's
I
still
don't like
there?
when people see smoothness like that. I don't like that. That's down to me, right? Let's not try to get too complicated. The best player is the most
Exactly.
important player, right?
Exactly.
Let's just be real, right? But at the same time, Draymond is a viable piece inside their system. That's
Listen,
all I'm saying.
you know why a lot of people is hype Draymond? Think about it. The people who you see is hype Draymond is people who are like Draymond. What was Perkins? You realize that the
Perkins
other
wasn't even Perkins wasn't even like Draymond.
Perkins was, but in his role, no. When Perkins was
Draymond
in
been
the
looking for
second
Perkins recently.
Celtics, when Perkins was with the Celtics, Perkins was people saying he was the defensive
Enforcer.
anchor, the
What?
defensive enforcer.
He's an
Because you know
enforcer.
what you get with Garnett. Garnett crazy. You already know Garnett crazy. But Perkins was the
But
defensive big rimmer. And you was like, but y'all know
people were
Perkins is
saying this. I
garbage.
never forget this. People were saying this. If Perkins is healthy game 7, they would have beat the
Boy,
Celtics.
I would never.
That's the wildest thing
I
I ever heard
remember
in
that,
my life.
and I was so
Wait,
hurt
I've
as a Laker
never
fan.
heard
I
that
don't
in
think
my
it's hard.
life.
What? But you
I've
gotta stop.
never heard that.
Wait,
But
I
I had a Laker fan, and that's one of the wildest things I ever heard in my
I was
life.
but they was
Wait,
legit violent saying, but
wait.
Poikins, if Poikins was there, but the Lakers
I
was
was like,
getting beat game seven.
what?
It's like, what Poikins was gonna
Perkins?
do? Give us 2 points. But we ain't even win by two. So what he's gonna do? Get the game 2 point closer?
Wait,
But
in a
dog was
game,
getting chew up the whole series. But Paul
Jaden,
Gasol was
the
eating
game,
his
but
boy
see,
food. Andrew Bynum, Poikins make Andrew Bynum look like baby Dwight Howard. They
the
could have
game,
traded Bynum straight up for Dwight Howard after playing against Poikins.
wait. And the thing is, that game 7 literally end with a score of something like 80 to 83 or something like that. It was a dead low scoring game.
It
So
was.
what Perkins could out of that game? He got out that defensively because if that is a defensive slugfest. So what do you think you can make his offense worse? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
like
understand for life of me why people thought
All
that.
the thing you to do is get run at their smart and probably take an elbow to the chin or something like that. But what Perkins was gonna do? But my thing is, boy, you got like
I
guys like Perkins who can fight for Draymond. You got role players. A lot of these analysts now, besides Shaq and Charles Barkley, a lot of these analysts usually is be role players or guys who played ball who was never the star, was never the big player. So in their eyes, Perkins and guys like Draymond is the watch Draymond. When Draymond retire, where you think Draymond going?
You're in a
Draymond
three-way.
came there to be
he ready.
analyst.
He
Same thing
ready
with
as analyst.
look at Richard
Three-way.
Jefferson. You forget they get off. Who that was who get off from Richard Jefferson the other day? I forget who that was. Gilbert Arenas or
Give
someone
Ray
was
Stick
getting
it on.
off on
Give Ray
Richard
Stick it on.
Jefferson. And only thing Richard Jefferson could say, "Oh, I have a championship ring." And guys was like, because I think they say something, man. And the guy was like, "Who?" And he's like, "Richard Jefferson." He's like, "Who?" And it's like, yeah,
They
yeah,
boys.
yeah, they boys. But
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I have a championship ring." He's like, "Bro, you was just on the team at the time. Like, please stop. Don't make it seem like." So it's just like what Draymond was, just like what Perkins was. Perkins was on the
No.
Celtics at that time. Even when they
Uh,
had the award ceremony the other
Yeah.
day. Keep in mind, Rondo wasn't there. Rondo was a part of the starting five. Rondo wasn't there because obviously they had a beef with Rondo, and plus he still plays. Where was Perkins? I remember
what?
seeing Garnett, Pierce. Garnett
When
even had Ray Allen.
you talking
Garnett
about
had
Garnett,
Ray Allen
Garnett
before he had
jersey retirement?
Perkins. Yeah, that was Perkins.
So Rondo's still playing, so I don't think it's really the beef much of it.
It doesn't matter. We know why Rondo couldn't be there because I think they had a game that night. Where
Right, Rondo.
was
Ray Perkins.
Perkins?
Perkins wasn't there, but I've seen pictures of all of them, including Big Baby, Garnett, Perez.
Exactly. Big Baby was there. Why Perkins in there? You know what it is for your teammates to know that you wasn't really a part
Baby-
of the team. You
Big
see
Baby
what
was
you see
supposed
what
to be there,
Kevin
right?
Garnett say when
Yeah, that's not a word.
when Perkins started running on, but Kevin Durant is a cupcake and this and that. Kevin Durant was like, we'd have a championship now if our starting center was an averaging 2 points a game.
That was necessary.
No, not just 2 points. 2 points, 3 rebounds.
That was
No,
necessary. That was
I think
necessary.
no, but I think he was blaming he blamed Garnett for the loss in OKC. He said Garnett wasn't like going for the ball or something.
Durant.
Durant.
Sorry, Durant wasn't going for the ball or something like that.
So
Durant was
you
like, we
blaming me for not going
would
for
have
the
win.
ball when I have 30, and you ain't going for the ball when you got
And
two.
my son said enough two.
I
I said
try
I
to
was in
hold
two.
your head, boy.
That was
You think
necessary, but
you
that was
think I
necessary.
tired of bullying everyone? I think that was the year when Durant must see the dunk. Who that was on Dallas? Dampier or either dunk the hell out of one center who was in Dallas. They beat the defending champions because I think that was 2012. They went to the finals. That was the first year the Heats went to the finals. They beat the defending champions, who was the Dallas Mavericks. They beat must see the Lakers. I think they beat the
Spurs.
Spurs and all the good Spurs. And then you go on to the finals against LeBron them, and you win a game. I think the series they didn't get sweep.
No, they win
No, they
again.
didn't get sweet.
I think it was 4-1 or
One.
4-2.
The game went one.
And then on top of that, me, who's the starter team, you think I taking anything from dog who's scoring 2 points and three? You wasn't even supposed to be in the starting line. Wait, the only thing would save some of these guys, like Perkins, is that you 7 foot.
The thing
Like,
is,
Big. Yeah.
listen, the thing is, these dudes in the starting line because you do need balance. You just can't have five people in the starting line who want to shoot all the board.
but if
It
niggas
don't
get to
work
play
like that,
four, they to play
right?
four without Perkins.
Right? Now Perkins, why I say Perkins, you can't just Draymond and say Draymond there like Perkins because Draymond actually could pass the basketball, right? That's one thing he have. He could pass, right? He may
Yeah,
not have no
he has
offensive
pass
game.
and he had a little bit more handles than
Yeah,
Perkins.
yeah. He may
He
not have
can
no
bring the ball
offensive
up.
game, but he could facilitate an offense little piece and he could pass. So that's useful. But in general, like I say with people, I just don't like when people try to make it complicated and say this one is the most important player or stuff like that. I just don't because that don't make no sense. But the best
But
player is the most important player on the
Yeah,
team.
I'm sorry.
and
Yeah, you know what I
also I
mean?
don't like when people overrate certain things when it's like common sense. Like they make it seem like Draymond is so smart with the basketball, and I'd be like, yeah, he makes passes, but who is he passing to? Like, of course, my
Drake.
passes can
That's the
always
smart.
look good if my pass is going to Durant, Clay, and Steph. I can always look like a smart passer because no pass to any one of those shooters open
No,
is
but
going to be a dumb
yes,
pass,
well,
even
good
if they miss
passes.
the shot.
Because a lot of people don't have that mindset. A lot of people would see a Clay open or a Steph open or whatever the case may be and say, I shooting that.
No,
You
but the
see what I'm
problem
saying?
is
Draymond is like, boy, I
if
find if they open, I will make sure I ain't miss them.
I
If I open
agree.
and they open, I get them that shot.
I agree,
That's
but the
Draymond.
problem is, even when those three are not on the court, remember that year, like I said, that year when Durant left, Clay was down, and Steph is, you still making these same passes to guys you know you can. Like it's almost like what now. LeBron does have a high basketball IQ, but my problem is, who do you pass to? You can't trust every teammate the same way, bro. That don't make sense. If I is Draymond and I see Wiggins going to the 3 point line, and I see Wiggins in like at that point in time, Wiggins was never a good 3 point shooter. And I'd be like, you think I could pass him the same shot I see Clay if I run into the rim on a fast break? Like Clay on a fast break, I rather a Clay three than a Draymond layup. So if Draymond take trust me, don't look at me like that. You would take a Steph or a Clay three over a Draymond layup for
Yeah,
three.
open
Uh,
three. Yeah, I would take that for you.
Exactly.
over
Braylon, look,
Draymond layup.
A
a
open three for
three
Steph or Clay?
in
Yeah,
transition.
I definitely take that. A open
Over
three.
a wide open Draymond layup.
A open
Anybody
Steph
else?
or Clay three.
I
I
say Steph and
definitely
Clay
taking
That's
that.
still a
specifically.
open three.
I,
A open three is still 40%.
a
But
open
it's
Steph or Clay three is not.
But
I'll
but
take
no,
a
I Steph
40% tree
the
than
highest.
your 50% too.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay, Grennan, stop it.
Draymond
Stop
is a
it.
50%
Grennan,
finisher at the rim.
Grennan, stop it.
Wide open
Okay,
layup.
stop it.
Wait,
Because
I
the
taking that
majority of
tree.
Steph three is be highly contested off the dribble. We talking about an
That's not true.
open
That's not
We
true.
don't.
catch and shoot 3 pointer. That's what we talking about. An open
First of
catch
all,
and shoot 3 pointer.
that's inaccurate.
He probably shooting like
The majority of Steph shots is not contested. Steph gets great looks in that system. Yeah, they be
So
off the
majority of
dribble.
Steph shots he contested.
No, Steph gets
Like,
as Clay
Braylon
either.
can kill.
They just
You got
get
it in mind.
great looks off in that system.
So
You got it in mind.
so what the defenses be doing if these guys getting so open?
They just be getting screened. What you mean? They just be
So
getting
you
moving
think after
illegal
after
screens from Draymond
after
and
5, 6, 7 years, you think the defense team have no
Yeah,
coverage
you
against
think I
screen?
could just keep getting screen and playing like
what
what?
you
Just
You
it
get
think
ain't
some
after
really a
five,
ball.
6, 7 years,
screen. What are you
you
talking
want me to
about?
show you You want me to show you highlights of defense with Steph to get play on him?
I can also. You think I can show you highlights of open shots Steph is beginning?
I
Steph
can
don't
Draymond
show
miss
is
I
get
open.
can
open shots.
but
Steph
What is
I
don't
can
happening?
miss
show
open
you
shots.
What is happening to Draymond shots when Draymond is stand up there looking like he got a backpack on his back and let me catch a short guy
Okay,
and
and on top
we
of that,
talking
I tell us
but we
his
talking
turn
about
their
and on top
back
of
layups.
that,
around and say let him
and on
We
top
shoot.
of that,
talking about we said layups. So you
But
telling me you would
if
take
we
an
on a
open
fast
Steph
break
three?
and a one player down and Draymond going to the rim and you gotta say Draymond going to take a layup with a guy trailing him or he could pass it over in the corner and Steph could spot it for a three.
I'd take the pass. I'd take
You
the three.
motherfucker.
But you
You
no,
just
that's
I
the
just said on a
contested.
fast break.
That's the contested layup. You said an open layup
I
for
never say open, I
Draymond.
said a fast break layup.
I say an open layup over open three. I taking Steph open three, and it ain't got nothing to do. It ain't got nothing to do with Draymond layup.
No,
It
no,
ain't got nothing
no.
to do with Draymond layup.
I ain't gonna lie, a Steph,
There's your scorers.
a open spot up three for
Yeah,
Steph
no. But
on a fast break is almost just as much. It's just as
that's
good.
There's your scores. You
y'all.
giving them an open 3-pointer. Steph and Clay, there's your scores. Give
Because
them an open 3-pointer and get them going.
the fact that Draymond even looking for a pass on a fast break means cheapest you pass the ball. Because if I get on a fast break and I pass half court, you better pray to Jesus. Two fellas down there. Because even if I see one,
I take an open three.
I go in for the foul.
I take
Now
an
you
open
have to
three.
foul me if I see
care
one fella down
what
there.
you say. I taking a three, brother. Yo, I don't care what you say. Right?
Strategy wise, because if it missed, Draymond can get the rebound.
If this it ain't got nothing to do with missing.
I don't even care
He's
because
the
I don't even think
scorers.
they're missing. I honestly don't even think that
Wait,
missing.
you understand what you're talking about? Wait, Graydon.
Notice I specifically said Steph and Clay.
Graydon.
I
And
say
then
to Poole,
Bing.
to
I
anybody
say
else,
Poole.
to
I say
Steph
Wiggins.
and
I
Clay
say
is
Steph
missed.
and Clay.
Yeah, there's miss.
Graydon.
But I can live with that.
Graydon. See, Graydon.
Over Draymond.
I don't want to
Graydon,
see
listen what I
Draymond take
say.
that ugly
Graydon.
layup.
Graydon. Listen to what I saying, man. Because you ain't listening, man.
All right,
Listen.
I listened.
Right? Because even if this is Kevin Durant in Brooklyn, I would say the same thing. I'd take an open KD tree too. Right? This is what I trying to show you.
Not
Right?
over Kyrie layup, though.
No, not over Kyrie layup. But I'm just saying. Understand this. You grouping all 3-point percentage into one. 3-point percentage is just not one stat.
I agree.
They have percentages for
Contested and
contested 3-pointers, uncontested 3-pointers, wide open. Look at Steph and Clay percentage on wide open 3-pointers. That's like 50-something, 60-something% on wide open 3-pointers. So you telling me you have an over 60% chance of hitting that shot for your scorers and you ain't gonna give it to them because you want Draymond to get going?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
No, hold on.
Players again. There's 5 points.
You talking about fast breaks. We talking about short buckets. We talking about high percentage shots.
And for
You
sure,
telling me.
bucket, bro, you can't win the game if them scores don't get going. You can't win the game.
If I open and you ain't pass me the ball and I was your best player, you know you're gonna take the rest of the game, right? Because if you ain't passing me open shots, I can take my shots. Trust me.
And again, I say this. See, you want to misconcept. Star players do not get that much open looks. So anytime you can get a star player an open look, you must give it to him. They don't get a abundance of open looks.
That's situational though. That's situational because if you down one and you have a couple of seconds to win the game.
Yeah, you take the layup, of course. Yeah, you take the layup. Yeah,
so that's situational.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, at the beginning of the game, obviously you want to get Steph and Clay as much shots as possible to get them going. Obviously.
Big man, even in that situation, I ain't taking a Draymond layup. Because see, in that situation, if Steph them could be open on the tree, that means Steph them smart enough to, if we on a fast break and I outrunning Draymond, why would I stop the tree? I run into the rim and Draymond better pass me this ball. You ain't taking that last second layup. If there's anybody who could take that last second layup, it's still gonna be Steph or it could be Clay. You still better pass this ball up. You think I can let you run to the rim talking about, Draymond for the win? What win? You crazy? He can't what? But you know how mad I was in 2K when I go on to put animations on my player and I see they had a Draymond Green dunk package? You know how mad I was to see a Draymond Green dunk package? I don't even think I see Draymond ever do that much dunks in his career.
What I try to show you is you getting a layup for Draymond Green don't serve you no purpose for the rest.
Yeah,
no, but
I don't help you at all. I don't help you at all.
Situational. Obviously, if you at the beginning of the game, if both of them is wide open, I would give it to Steph. You want to get your if you get Steph hot, you most likely win the game, or Clay. But a high percentage shot, you need a bucket. Let's say y'all in a drought, you need a bucket. Steph Cole, Clay Cole.
Nah,
how you want
and that's all the more reason to give it to them.
How you want to
That's all the more reason to give it to them.
It's a 10-0 run. Your team
What?
that's gone 10 and 0 on y'all. You need a bucket. You still
I
shooting
need Steph
threes?
to hit that three. I
Okay,
need.
sound
Okay,
like
so what
y'all
Draymond
smarter
hitting the layup
than
could do? What
sound like
Draymond
y'all
hitting the layup
smarter
could do
than
is Steph
Tony.
Cole.
But it sound
I
like
need
y'all smarter than Tony. You missed 27 straight and you still shooting threes?
I need you to start thinking, Graydon, start thinking now. What a Draymond layup could do is Steph Cole.
Break
You
the
have any chance
streak.
to win that game?
Get a point.
Understand this. What a Draymond layup could do is Steph Cole. If you down, like you say the next team on a 10-0 run, right? You have zero chance of winning if Steph Cole. You have zero chance of winning if Clay
No,
Cole.
no, no. You don't have
What
zero
a
chance.
Draymond
No, no,
tree could
no.
do.
That's not true. I disagree. You do not have zero chance of winning if Steph is cold. You do not. You
You don't
could
have a
still
zero
win the
chance of winning
game.
Steph and Clay Cole
No, you don't. You can still win the game.
against who?
What you mean against who? The
In the
Warriors.
playoffs?
The Warriors have elite defense.
In the
They don't have.
playoffs, you think
They
they could
don't
win
have.
a game? If Steph and Clay Cole, you think they could win a game in the playoffs?
First of all, they ain't cold 48 minutes. But if they cold and they in a 10-0 drought, the Warriors could win a game with things
I
other
see.
than the 3 point shot.
Listen, I want y'all to know, Steph been missing for like the past 6 games. These dudes didn't lose to the Magic. They didn't lose to the
Mhm.
Wizards. They didn't lose to flipping uh who else they lose to? No, they beat the Heat.
I think the Grizzlies just beat them
The
too.
Spurs. They
Oh,
lose
come
the
on.
Grizzlies by damn near 40, right? Understand this. They have zero chance to win if Steph or Clay Cole in a
And,
playoff scenario.
but the Warriors are not just their 3 point shot.
No, I'm saying they're not necessarily 3-point shots. But if your main scorers are cold, right? You are probably not going. That's like if with Brooklyn, right? If KD or Kyrie cold, right? Maybe Seth Curry could bail you out, right? But in a playoff scenario where it's tighter, do would you rather Bruce Brown try to bail you out? The defense would love for Bruce Brown to beat them. By the way, the defense would love for Bruce Brown to beat them. They'd love for that,
Yeah.
right? They'd rather that any day over KD or Kyrie beating them. And
I
that's the
agree.
same way with if you play the Warriors. I'd love for Draymond to beat me. Draymond, if Draymond up 30 tonight and we lose and we lose, I can
Yeah.
take that.
But we're not saying force feed Draymond though. We're saying we need a bucket. It's been 3 possession. It's been three
Mhm.
minutes. We ain't got a field goal in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Next team scoring. We need a bucket.
Hmm.
Still keep docking up threes or
No, I never said joggle trees. I said if Steph and Clay have an open tree, you get on that shot. That's simple. That's not jacking up. That's if they have an open tree, you got to get on that shot. Even with Houston, right? Houston, we could talk about that make or miss thing with Houston. I mean, I believe it's a make or miss thing, even with Houston. But wait, what the hell going on inside these comments?
I don't know.
Wait,
These
anyway,
sports
even with
bars.
Houston, 27 straight missed trees, right? Um, it was rough. I don't think all them trees was open, right? Some of them I feel was a little contested or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
But even in that situation, 27 missed straight trees, that's a time where you would want your star player to say, bail us out a little bit, get a bucket, stop the bleeding a little bit, right? And James Harden couldn't do that. But I think in those scenarios, you would want your star player to do it because if your star player doesn't do it, chances are the role players ain't gonna do it. Because the role players ain't never been in that position before, the way they had to do something like that. So you down 10 and Steph them court, if you could get them an open one, let them see the ball go in the rim. You know what I mean? If they can get to the
Yeah.
free throw line, let them see the ball go in the rim. That's the whole point of it. You know what I mean? The only scenario where I wouldn't do that is if you down by one, like you say, and you just need a bucket. Okay, take the layup, Draymond. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like if it's like that, or if the defense sell out to guard the rest of them, and you have an open layup, yeah, man, take the layup. You know what I mean? But other than that, if they open, get a ball up, get a ball up.
The Draymond has created a unique role in this league. I think it even stemmed from his triple double with no points. I think he had assist, rebounds, and what blocks
Yeah,
or steals or something like
Lost
that.
is one of them. Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, like that level of role player is different and it's unique and he's created a niche. And I think that there's going to be more players that come in the league um that could do that. Now, obviously, you can't be in this league and not shoot at that position. Like not in the 21st century, it ain't gonna happen, right? So you got to be able to hit one or two jumpers. But you could survive in this league without being offensively minded. Draymond has shown that.
Yeah, I mean, for him, like I say, the Warriors. I mean, is a great fit for him, and he's a great fit for the Warriors. Uh, they have a unique team, and like you say, where they don't really rely on him to score. You know what I
Lies.
mean? But they don't really rely on him to score. But at the end of the day, I think, like you say, it's tough. But when you can't really score in the NBA, especially when you get in playoff scenarios, that teams start to pick on your weaknesses and start to try to, So you really have to be in tune with what's going on. And like I said, you will always try if you're in a playoff series, you will always say, let's make the non-scorer beat us over the guys who could actually beat us.
For
First
sure.
of all, don't let Krillin lie to y'all, but Draymond Green has set any standard for any crap to do anything. Most people who will ever come in this NBA will never in their lifetime or even in life can ever play with a Steph, a Clay, and a Durant on their team at one time. If Draymond Green get drafted to any other team, y'all would not even be talking about his name would probably not even be relevant. Please stop making it seem like, oh, he has set the pace
Exactly.
that other multiple guys can come over here and make the NBA like that. Yeah, you might make
Draymond,
the NBA, but not to the extent that Draymond has still been in the league. If Draymond did
Draymond,
ever leave the Warriors, he would have been out of the league probably the next 2 to 3 years
I
after that.
compare I
Dream,
compare Draymond to a less talented early version of Rondo, right? And in this regard, right? Rondo played with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. Rondo, at the end of the day, realized, and this is early in his career, obviously. This is before he was All Star. He realized I already got to do much, right? What I
Exactly.
got to do, pass the ball, play solid defense, know my role. And once I do that, we'll win the championship. And that's what he did, right? And like I say, to me, that's value in that because not a lot of players know how to get out of their own way, right?
Exactly.
Draymond knows how to get out of his own way and say, "But look, I playing with this dude, that dude, that dude. I already need to do much. Let me just pass, play defense, stay out of it." The minute he started getting his own way a little bit, that's when he leave. The minute he started to get in his own
is
way,
more his attitude,
Exactly.
yeah,
more his attitude and personality than it is
At
his play.
At
yeah,
any point in time, did you see Rondo? Number one, Rondo also left that team and showed in other places that I could still be an elite passer. I still could be a lead defender. I still could be a lead point guard. At any point in time, Rondo still showed himself that, hey, yes, I did. That actually helped me in my career probably at the beginning with playing around those guys because it boosts my confidence and it give me extra something. But Rondo left, and at any point in time, has Rondo ever come up even against a star player and say, "Oh, we need more of you," and this and that? Rondo could pass you the ball 10 times in the corner, and you could miss every shot, and Rondo could slap you on your hand and say, "Hey, bro, let's go. You got the next one." Draymond, you telling Kevin Durant that he can isolate at the top of the key when Kevin Durant is at that point in time and probably even now the best offensive player in the world? And you
yeah. I
can
think
tell me we don't play that type of
No, I,
that was the biggest thing to me
we?
on
Who
his
is we?
on his
How
it
on
is
his
ain't no,
what
it
you
ain't
mean
it ain't
we?
it wasn't a message. It was the tune of the message because Kevin Garnett came there to play like the Warriors. He said, "I like how those guys in Golden State play. I want to play with them. I want to play
Yes,
how they
but
play."
we all
So
know in them
Draymond is just trying to tell
situations.
you
that's
No,
how he
no,
this:
played.
you
no.
want to play like us. But it
No,
was
no,
the
no, no,
tone
no.
of his message. It was the way
Keep
he
in
said it,
mind,
not
this
not
was not season one. This was not even season two. This
Yes.
was after a year. I came here and I wanted to play like y'all in the regular season. But you saw what happened in the finals when they was going up against the Cavaliers, who was handling that ball one on one. This wasn't no, oh, we running plays and getting Durant open. This wasn't no, oh, we getting Steph and hitting the ball in the corner. This was fourth quarter. LeBron versus Durant. I coming down court
yeah.
and
I saw.
hoisting three and LeBron head. I coming down like dunking on Kevin
Hold
Love.
on now. Hold
So
on now.
this
Hold
was
on now.
after
Hold on now.
Durant already proven himself and was two-time
Hold on. Hold on.
Finals MVP. And
I
now
can
we playing against the Clippers with like must be 5 minutes to go. You can tell me I can isolate at the
don't
top of the
make it
key
seem
because I must pass the ball.
no, no. don't make it seem like Durant was just carving up dudes by himself. The reason Durant even had that opportunity was because Steph was on his right and Clay was on his left. The defense couldn't sag in on Kevin Durant. That's the benefit of playing with Golden State.
When
You
you
make
do
it seem
sag
like
in on Kevin Durant, what happens? You slow
he
him
had,
down?
yes,
When?
Kevin Durant
Did
is
you
scoring
watch the
30 on a triple
playoffs?
team.
Did you watch the playoffs last year with no Kyrie Irving and no James Harden before James Harden was there?
I might
Did you
add
watch Kevin Durant?
Tyronn Lue
Yeah,
on
After,
record.
hold on, this is after
On record,
Achilles
Tyronn Lue say
injury.
I
but
blitz
yeah,
step,
but
I
what
double
I'm
step
saying is,
Clay Thompson and Kevin Durant on the court. I don't record by the way. Tyronn Lue say I double step Curry with Clay Thompson and Kevin Durant on the court. But go on, look.
so no, my point is, the reason Kevin Durant was carving up LeBron then was because he was on the Warriors. He couldn't do that in OKC.
Okay, but here's the thing, right?
Hey,
So
what?
don't make it seem like the way you made it seem just now was that the Warrior system was completely independent of Kevin Durant's performance. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's not
No,
true.
my point was Kevin Durant does this. Kevin Durant is that guy. You don't hold no ball at the top of the court, being the third, fourth, fifth option that you are. You don't hold no ball at the top of this court when I clapping for it and tell me I can't get it because we don't run that system here. Big brother, we just run this. Didn't we just win two championships like last season and the season before with me doing this? At that point in time, in those final games, when you watch those fourth quarters, you saw what they was doing. They was bringing the ball over half court, and a lot of times Kevin Durant was isolating on
Yeah,
whoever was guiding him.
it
Yeah,
was a
So,
point where he took over the game.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. So it was like my thing is, yeah, we run that offense thing all game, the first three quarters, whatever, whatever. But now it's winning time. This is like fourth quarter. I think this is like 2 minutes left. And the thing is, I think they didn't even get a shot off. Or I think something
They didn't
happened.
get a shot as turnover. And
Yeah.
it
So
was
my thing is, how you could round me when you could have given me the ball and I maybe could have scored or maybe even get a foul or get a better shot attempt because Durant is a 90% free throw shooter. But then you don't want to give me the ball. You can turn it over or the offense turn it over. And then you can when I ask you, say, wait, bro, you see me standing there clapping for the ball. Why you don't give me the ball? Or we don't play that F and D, that type of ball around here. But you just turn the ball over.
no, but
play
What you
is
want me to
that,
play?
see,
I
but
this
had
is
to trip
never
right out
happened,
of
right?
there.
And I don't blame both sides. I don't
I
blame
had to
both
trip
sides,
right out of there, bro.
right? I don't blame
If
both
y'all had
sides because
score, it wouldn't have been no issue. But you
no,
turned the
because
ball over?
uh,
Oh,
this is the
it
thing.
had to peel me
Draymond,
off that.
Draymond, and you could have seen it one watching that last play too. You could have seen it watching the last play.
Draymond is a
Draymond
low
said
key
himself,
hater.
he was going to dribble it up, suck the defense in, and then he's gonna hit Kevin around the trailer, right?
He was gonna what?
Right?
What
He could
defense
have
is getting sucking? We
he
just
was
said we
sucking.
ain't even giving this boy a wide open layup over nobody on this team. And you
you
tell
did.
me Draymond believe in his
You did.
head that he was
Yeah,
gonna drive and suck the defense in?
that's what he said he's gonna do,
You got
right?
Steph. You just say they can double Steph even if they're around on the court. You can
But
double
Steph wasn't playing
Steph.
that game. Steph wasn't playing that game.
Got okay.
But
You got still got Clay,
Clay, you still got
Durant,
Clay.
and these guys. You could double Durant now. So you
Yeah,
can tell me you got Durant who could get double, Clay who you would keep a man on, and you think Draymond gonna suck a defense?
this was the man said he could do. So anyway,
Gotta
that's
be
what he said he
crazy.
used to do. Kevin Durant wanted the ball coming up the court. Sometimes if you watch Kevin Durant play,
Yeah, you like to get it like round
he like to
half
get it,
court.
he like to get it early so he could just
Yeah,
dribble up and get in this, whatever. You know
that
what I
long
mean?
crossover he got. I don't know how niggas don't take that. That long too, boy.
See what I'm saying? So it was a difference of opinion that did not have to be all that, but once it became all that,
But
then
it was,
it was
and
like
and that's my point. Draymond aggravated it because it's just like, hey, like
he
why you give me
aggravated.
the ball? All I asked you was that's like when we play ball. That's like if you dribbling at the top, okay, y'all do, y'all old school dribble ball handlers. And I'd be like, but you want to see me run baseline and get wide open in the corner. Oh boy, I was setting up a play. Yeah, but this is the play. I run baseline and I get open in the corner. You don't think that's a play to pass me the ball so I can shoot? Oh boy, I'm setting up the effing play. Who you think you is? You can't stand here and shoot up all the ball.
But that's
Why you want me freak out around there? See, like I said, if you
but
just
that
tell me, bro, I was looking at something.
but
Like you say, the way he
exactly
said it, we would have
the
been
way
cool. But if y'all ever come and say, boy, oh, this is the effing way I play, and you can't shoot up all the
you
ball,
think
time
you,
out,
It
time
was
out,
bigger than that though. It's bigger than
time
that.
out, hold for him.
but no, but here's the thing.
Draymond said it was bigger than that. Draymond,
You think
he heard sip that Durant was about to leave. So Draymond was a little bitter
Yeah,
about the
but
whole
be in the
situation.
game, stay with your
So
feelings, bro. Give me the
so
ball.
but
it was
here's my
bigger than
thing.
that.
You think KD never had no miscommunication with Clay or Steph? of course,
Yeah, but
but
you
it
see how
never
they handled
escalate.
it. Exactly.
It
But
never escalate.
who escalated it?
I agree. It's his
Yeah.
personality. I agree,
But
100%.
and that summer, I mean, I think honestly and truly, the only reason that they kept Draymond over Durant is because Durant said, "I want
He
my
was
own team."
leaving.
If
Yeah.
Durant said I was staying,
Oh
but
yeah.
Draymond was gonna be in Orlando right now.
But Draymond said that.
Even
Draymond,
Draymond said, yeah, Draymond
Draymond
said
said
that.
that.
Draymond said,
Listen,
Yeah, Draymond said
so
Durant.
Durant still was lenient enough because
Yeah.
I'd have been petty. I'd have stayed for one more year, get rid of him, and then still leave. Like I
No,
petty.
but I ain't really mad at Draymond do it because, to be honest, the elephant in the room was that Durant wanted to leave. Draymond already heard the sip sip, and he just was mad that flicking this nigga was at 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door.
I mean, but
Now,
that, why you
that
anyway?
ain't really got nothing to do with you. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
you gotta play out
but
the season
and that
at
was
the
the
same
thing.
time.
That was the thing with people was mad at, and I think even Durant was mad at because he was like, people calling me the cupcake, but I don't really care. Like people is talking about Durant peasy head. I never see Durant come out there at halftime brushing his hair. Like people is come and say, "Oh, Durant too skinny." I
no,
don't
but
see
don't defend.
Durant doing that.
Hold on. Don't defend that hairstyle. Now. That's just
Yeah, that is
he need better
despicable.
That's
hygiene. Now.
disgusting,
That's
boy.
That
That's
is
disgusting.
despicable, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like my point is, he don't care.
yeah. You don't
When
care.
you see Durant, there's like, oh, from long time, they was like, Durant too skinny, he too frail, he's not gonna hold up an NBA. I don't see Durant go and bulk up over the off season. So it's like, Durant is a type, he legit don't care. He can play his game regardless of how you play his game. But Draymond, like you say, Draymond is the one. Oh, I hear the media asking you questions and you answered it suspiciously. Bro, why you in my business, bro? Like I'm your girl, why don't ask me no question? Like how you like see that's the things we could trigger. Cause like why you feel so and my thing is if you say you always winning before me, why are you so mad if I say I might feel like, getting my own team? You always winning before me, right? And what Draymond come in the interview and say, that's why I tell you, sometimes what you're saying earlier, you gotta get out your own way. Because he said, but ever since Kevin Durant leave, we've been getting our ass kicked. So yes, you always winning before him, but now this is a guy that makes your championship window bigger. That's like that's like Kansas City keeping Tyreek Hill and still getting Juju. It's almost like yeah, you kept your stars and you added to it, but now in the locker room, Kelsey can say, well, no, I like because Kelsey actually contribute. Uh, the running back, whoever Kansas City running back can say, why y'all passing all the ball? We need to run more. What? Didn't we just like went to the Super Bowl or been to the playoffs 3, 4 years in a row with being the best passing offense in the league? What you mean we need to run more? Who are you again? You realize that you're only on this team because we just need a running back as a position player. We don't give you no ball. So it's almost like Draymond, like you just here off slack. Like I think the reason why people don't like Draymond is because of the attitude, like the persona. Like you say, the way he answered Kevin Durant is like, boy, why are you so hype? Like, why you feel you was that guy? If it was Kobe cursed out guys before, tell them, but they ain't nothing is coming out of that. Jordan punching fellas in their face in practice. Ain't nothing coming out of that. But it's like, how are you the guy?
Yeah, I think people just don't
How are
like
you the guy who was be the mouthpiece?
the lack of talent associated with the mouth. And then Draymond have a long rope too. In terms of like refs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Refs don't really give him text and things like that too.
ain't just
So
the refs, but don't forget Durant say the organization didn't even step in and say, hey, let me call you two guys to the office and say, hey, listen, Kevin Durant is
no,
Kevin Durant. I
no,
think
but they
he
suspend Draymond
was,
though. They
huh?
suspend Draymond.
Yeah, they suspend Draymond for one
Yeah.
game, but he said that the team suspended Draymond, but he said they never sat down with Draymond and let him know that hey, I mean, at some point you gotta realize, but his rules, even in life, you gotta realize life ain't fair. Don't mind all that equality, whatever. Life ain't fair. It could be people who better.
Say that
No,
too.
like real talk. It could be people who have more money. It could be people who better. It could be it's like if it was equality, then we wouldn't have roles on the job because a supervisor is not equal to line staff. A manager is not equal to line like think about it. So anyway, the point is, he said management never had a meeting and speak to Draymond in his presence and say, hey, bro, number one, you need to know that you're in the wrong. We ain't need asking for no apology. We grown man. Things happen, games get heated. Now, if y'all choose to apologize, that on y'all. But we ain't asking for no. All we asking you is to recognize that this is Kevin Durant. This is the best player on the planet. If he comes up and clap for the ball, we can live and die with that shot. We're not going to let you dribble talking about you sucking in any defense when you're not capable of that. and then talking about you can kick it out to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is not that guy to sit in the corner and catch and shoot. Give Kevin Durant the ball at halftime, and going forward, we can take that. Now, if Durant, if Draymond at that point decides to explode and say, "Oh well, I don't want to play that type of basketball because I used to this and that," then the next day, Orlando Magics, give me one second round draft pick and $200 and a Big Mac. Come get this guy.
I
But
actually,
at that point, Draymond probably would have humbled himself and say, "Hold on now, I ride in a gravy train right now. We winning championships, or we at least contenders for championship, and I go to get a contract extension. Yeah, I think, okay, Kevin, everything cool. I
but
ain't apologizing, but next time, come get the ball, eh?
that's the thing. They say Draymond say I think Draymond did say they tried to make him apologize for it. But my thing is this: if I was in front of us, I was staying out there completely. Why is that a big deal? Like it don't have to be a big deal. We had an argument on the bench. Teammates have arguments on the bench all the time. Why are you suspending Draymond because he had an argument with your best player? I mean, I understand he's your best player, but to me, it's like teammates.
Conduct detrimental to the team.
What causing a detrimental to Katie leaving? That's the reason
Exactly.
why. That's the reason they
Exactly.
suspended.
But if it was
Right?
the other way around,
Right?
if KD did explode on Draymond, KD wouldn't get suspended.
No, he
It's a
would get
different. It
suspended.
is like I say. It's no such thing as equal. Like I say, it's
No,
a star player, and there's role players. If a star player gets on a role player, they take it as I'm making you better. What Jordan was saying, I was trying to get the best out of my teammates when I punch him in the eye. Kobe is saying, boy, when I fight Vujicic, I was trying to get the best out of Vujicic. I was trying to toughen him up. When it's the star player going at a role player, oh, he trying to get the best out of him. But when you was the role player, you ain't even the second player. You ain't even. This ain't even a Shaq and Kobe beef. This ain't no. Oh, we close to each other's greatness and we trying to see who's the alpha male. This ain't no Shaq and Kobe beef. This a Shaq and Perkins beef. That's how far apart Kevin Durant
You gotta
and
stop with this Perkins.
or Shaq and Kwame Brown, because Kwame Brown was the center after Shaq left. This is a Shaq and Kwame Brown debate.
no,
That's how
there's no
far
argument.
Kevin Durant
Right.
offensive
It's
skills
a shock
and
and
basketball
it's a shock and
skills.
Dennis Rodman beef. Let's just
Hold
be.
on
It's
now.
a
Oh,
shock and
this ain't
Dennis
no
Rodman
Dennis
beef.
Rodman.
It's a shock and Dennis
No,
Rodman beef.
no. Dennis Rodman. Don't you ever disrespect Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman in the Hall
Number
of Fame,
one,
right? I
exactly.
can tell you,
Number one,
I can tell you something, but you ain't going there. Draymond Green gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
That's
that's
something you
almost
ain't going
like the
there,
NFL.
right?
Probably Matt Ryan to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. Like
That's
right
something.
now, yeah,
So, so,
Matt Ryan, and Philip Rivers are probably going to make the Hall of Fame just off of stats, and they never win a championship in their life. So Draymond got 3 championships off of slack, and they say he's a part of the team. He can make it
he got two
because
championships. He got Defensive Player of the Year. He got a couple All Star appearances, couple All NBA appearances,
yeah, like
couple
I
All
say, all them
Defensive
weird
Team.
stats they can throw in there. Of course, he probably might
Right.
make it, but
But
guys still
listen,
ain't gonna respect Draymond
listen.
to say, "Oh yeah, Draymond, you made the Hall of Fame
I
because you was a hell of a player in your
no,
day.
everything is situational.
You
But
was
listen,
killing guys in that day. You gotta
like I
be
say,
nice."
if it was me, if I was front office, I just stay out of it. But I look at that situation again, and I feel as if there's really nothing you could do to make Kevin Durant stay. Kevin Durant is a dude who is very non-confrontational, right? He just wants to come and play ball. He ain't really
Exactly.
into all that other running on, other stuff like that.
And
So
Draymond made that situation uncomfortable.
yeah, but I feel that Kevin Durant was ever leaving. I mean, that's just that's the reality. I feel that he was ever leaving. Draymond gave him a good out to want to leave,
Exactly. But you give me
right?
you give him a leave now without a pitch. Because at that point in time, Golden State could offer him a super max. I think that number one is your pitch. So it's like you could give him more money, you could give him a winning environment. You realize that Kevin Durant nor Golden State have won a championship since. At some point in time, if he did stay, they probably may have won a championship
Yeah,
since.
could have been this
Because
year.
exactly, they could have been Milwaukee last year.
Yeah,
So it's like I have a championship to pitch to sell to him. I got money to sell to him. I have his own team, like leader of the team or alpha male of the team to sell to him. And I could sell to him that I getting rid of Draymond. But the fact that Draymond carry on and management ain't say nothing, to me that's almost like, oh, okay, I guess Draymond is the boss right here.
no, but that's the thing. They did say something. It just didn't work. They did say, "But we could suspend you." They did say, "Apologize to KD." It just didn't really work. So you do all that in vain, basically, because the boy still leave. You know what I mean? So that's why I say I probably would have just rather they didn't really even really do nothing. Like I probably just rather them just leave it alone and let them solve it on their own. Because at the end of the day, wait, Katie, go back and look at Katie history. Katie played with a dude like Russ, right? When Katie was tired of Russ, he ain't never tell Russ, "But I tired of you." He just leave, right? It's
And
the same
people's
thing.
mad at him for that when I felt like he was in every right to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, he could. I ain't saying he's wrong for that. I just saying that's just the type of dude he is, right? He
Yeah,
ain't going back and forth with niggas. He already feels some type of way. He gone. That's just him. He ain't really got
yeah,
time to go back and forth. I mean, whether you disagree with his approach or not, let's just look at
exactly.
the type of dude he is, right? So Golden State ain't really have much chance to keep him. Like you say, it probably would have been best for both parties because neither ain't win a championship since they left each other. It probably would have been best for both parties for them to stay. But Duo wanted a situation. He wanted to play with Kyrie. I can't blame him. Kyrie hella nice. I can understand why he wanted to play with him.
Yep.
And you know, it is what it is. But
Even with that situation, even after Durant left, my problem with them is that they still kept Draymond. My thing is, you had a season after that where Steph got injured and Clay wasn't there. This was your time to stockpile draft. And then, like, remember what I told you when they signed him to that deal? You always sell high. Everybody know, especially these business guys who own these teams and these GMs. Sell high. You think that they could get the same value for Draymond they could, now that they could have gotten that year if they traded Draymond?
no,
No.
Not even close. At least if they traded Draymond at that point, they may have gotten a good player and a draft pick. If you trade Draymond right now, you may get a top 15 pick in this year's draft. And we don't even know who in this year's
salary,
draft to be
and
honest.
salary play a big part in that too.
Exactly.
But
You have to eat a lot of that salary.
not only for Draymond. Sad to say, for Clay too. Sad to say
But fellas would take that on.
that
You
definitely
put
would.
Clay on the market right now, Clay wouldn't make it to 9 a.m. Clay would be, if Clay,
Dudes would take
if
Clay for sure, for sure. Dudes would
fellas
take.
would take Clay. Certain
Yeah,
teams that just need a shooter, teams um, like I think Miami need a shooter, to be honest with you. Even though I like Jimmy Butler, they need like a pure shooter because he wrote them sometimes. Teams like Milwaukee, boy, I ain't gonna lie, that Middleton guy, yeah, he's a good number two, but boy, Clay ain't missing in playoff time. I mean, I'd take Clay over that. Certain teams, like can take Clay. Even in the West, like you think the Lakers, if they say Clay right now, you think they wouldn't throw Westbrook?
you don't want to take him Westbrook, but
Like,
you continue to dream. You don't want to take it that vibe.
like they just tell Westbrook, like, boy, yo, Uber outside, and say, yeah, but you come into the stadium, we're gonna have like a little workout session, and then you just put in the Uber, say, like, San Francisco, came straight to the arena. Don't even let him know where he going. Lock the doors. Don't let him put the child safety lock on, and just drive him straight to San Francisco to the Warriors, and then send us click. Like I mean, like I say, Draymond value is declining by the year. Even if next season Golden State comes back and make a run, his value still already declined because of his age factor as well.
Yeah,
Draymond, like what, 33,
I
32?
think I think they do need to sort. I wouldn't say blow it up, but I do think they need to explore trading them too, especially because he's beat Dick Ryan and LeBron so hard. Honestly, he said something the other day where really
Please don't come to
disturbed
the Lakers. Oh Lord, please don't
where,
come here.
where really disturbed me. Right?
He go into LeBron.
He said if the Warriors playing and LeBron breaking the
Oh,
scoring record,
but I could love up a man.
he going to see LeBron play. Now for me, that's a big no, bro.
That's
You
what I'm
understand?
saying. Why the Warriors just take this amount of disrespect from this guy?
You can't. I don't. Wait, on top of flipping the history you all have, you against LeBron, right? This man flipping trick you all the time, Mitchell, by causing you get suspended in game 5, right? And now you will pay him. You will pay him by being his friend, friending up and talking about you gonna miss your job to go watch this man play. You
Yeah,
can't have
but
a wife at home.
Golden State,
You
at
can't have a
least
wife at home. You can't have children at home.
I ain't got the hype. They friends. I don't understand what the issue is.
Friends,
what?
but you
Now,
see, no one you go up with.
If I have a game,
You know,
I
from
you
mean,
see,
if
no,
I have a game,
from the
I must
Warriors
live
aspect,
my
from the
Warriors
Warriors,
game.
from the organization aspect, I don't know how you could get off saying that. But I mean, like you saying, like because LeBron beat him in the
No, it's the fact that he has a game. You're gonna miss
game.
your game in the
Oh no, I know
same
what you're saying.
league,
No, no,
and
I
you're
don't
gonna
want to.
play LeBron. You
I think
see
he had to been
guys
just
like that.
because
When you see men like that do them things, they are anti-woman
The anti-woman.
and they love other men.
They anti-woman bad. But you cannot have a wife at home. You cannot have a wife at home, and you cannot have children who look up to you. If you saying stuff like that, it's no way. It's no way you got a wife at home. You saying you bought a dock. Wait, you know he said he bought a dock work to watch a man play, bro.
And
That's
he
what he said.
telling you, he ain't like you lying to your boss and say, boy, I ain't gonna lie. Like calling into the of Eddie. You
Eh,
telling your boss, but I ain't coming to work because I can't watch man play. Like I ain't playing.
I how keep putting it like that. Though. I mean, I
off the
agree,
screen,
but
wait, off the
that's
screen, him
that's
just saying that he's getting
that's
traded.
wild. That's
Off the screen, him just saying that he's getting traded.
Real? Because you ain't
that's
even work that much.
You,
from the organization standpoint. That's wild for him to say that. But I mean, why I keep saying to watch man play like this? Like LeBron is about to break a record that's been held for what, 20 how much years, and probably will never.
it don't matter,
Trust me,
boy.
that ain't gonna last too long. You see the rate these fellas shooting 3 pointers at?
That's a big.
Steph just break the 3 point record. You ain't see no one ducking day game to go watch
Yeah.
Steph break the 3 point record.
Like, you think when Kareem was going to break Karl Malone record, all the Larry Bird them was like, boy, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Wait, if you see the Lakers playing freaking next week, I can't make that game, boy, coach. Like, what?
That's,
This guy
I,
is not your teammate. This guy is someone
yeah,
that
he ain't
you.
your
It's a
teammate, bro.
competitor. Like they
He had
gotta
to
get
be.
over this. I glad
He
this.
had to be
We have
exaggerating.
all these highlights and we have all these stuff on Twitter and then, bro. This is
Yeah, I
all of
glad
my
this age, this LeBron age, and all his goonies. I glad all them like over 30 now, and they starting to wash out. Cause you see fellas like Ja Morant them and Tatum them coming up, they say, boy, we getting back to that Kobe. Like a lot of them saying now, they came up idolizing Kobe, and they have that competitive viper. Like we could be boys, you know. Ain't no problem with us playing 2K together and in the summers carrying our girls to tropical islands together. But boy, when you see me on that court, big man, I ain't no hugging and no taking pictures together and oh hey, this is my boy and I come in to watch your game, you come in to watch mine. Like, no bro. We competitors. We go at each other. If you ain't on my team, we don't play with each other. In the summer, we do that. Off the court, we do that. We can link up at a gym. We can link up at someone's house. We do that. But these fellas, like LeBron, them is really,
Who's
they
a
really
big
score the bar.
who's a bigger competitor than Draymond Green? Though?
obviously
Huh?
he ain't that big a competitor if he could say
No,
something
no,
like that.
no. He's a mode
We
competitor.
talking on the court.
On the court, who's a bigger what?
Draymond
You
Green is
realize Draymond game is get
credible
torched?
people on
You
the court.
realize he's getting torched? When
No,
we
The
say
old, the
competitor,
old
we
Draymond was
talking
a big
about
competitor.
actually going at it. We talking about when I say competitor, I count a competitor as you actually playing at the level of your competition.
no, come on. He is incapable of playing at the level of
So
his
you're
own.
not my competitor. If I come on the
No,
court every time and touch you, me and you're not gonna have a rivalry.
no,
Me
you
and
can't
you're
say
not
that.
gonna have a rivalry. Not
Draymond
because
Green
you
is
come to
not
the green
friends
and
up.
say, "Oh, I can guard you tonight, and you can be mine." I wouldn't even. Man, everything good.
The old
Draymond Green
Draymond
no
is the
friend
old
of putting
Draymond
on the court now.
is
Come on.
the old Draymond was more of a competitor. I feel like this Draymond still is a competitor, but my thing is that's not something that you say. You don't say nothing like that. That to me, where's your competitive spirit if you say something like
And
that? Like
and
you are
and it ain't even is and to be honest, that whole buddy thing, that's only a few people in the league. LeBron best friend, Chris Paul, he tried to break LeBron shoulder, doesn't
Exactly.
couple
You have
seasons.
Chris Paul say he can miss a game to come watch LeBron.
exactly. If Chris Paul do it, you'd be very surprised he do that, right?
I
You'd be
would.
like,
He
But
would
the only reason Melo could be there is because Melo on the same team, and Melo might not even be there next
Melo may
season.
not be in the league no more. So Melo probably could be there just off him not being in the league.
And Dwayne Wade better gotta ask Gabby if he could even go to that game.
Yeah,
So guarantee Dwayne Wade could be to that game.
no,
You
but
realize that sometimes LeBron's sons don't even be to the game when he breaking these records.
but Draymond must be there. Well, I saw that
no,
man.
but that whole Bollywood thing, that's a minority in the league. But that's not protect
Yeah,
that.
I
That's
glad
not
that's starting to wash out because that's I ain't into that.
Yeah, these young dudes they bringing the funk back. I like them. These young dudes like look at them. They see a star in
Like,
them. They
yeah,
scoring.
I
They
see
ain't watching
guys.
that.
I see Ja Morant say, "Is his like?" They ask him say, "Who would he like to dunk on the most?" And he's like, "Wait, I gotta dunk LeBron before he retire." And I was like, "What? Ja Morant is coming in the league and not being starstruck by saying I want to play with LeBron or I would like to be on his team before he leaves. This is actually a guy who's saying, wait, I want to dump this guy before he leaves. Like I want to send him out of the league on a high note. Like come and take this ride. Like I like stuff like that. Don't come in here with no.
But
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
I
what
really
you're
would like to
talking
play
about
with this
now.
guy before he leaves.
But what I'm trying to get you to understand, what you're talking about now is the minority of the league. That's not popular.
Yeah, but we don't need that. We don't need that no more.
Most players are competitive like that. Even it ain't just this new generation.
No,
You
it's the
can,
LeBron generation.
it's
When I
not
say
even
LeBron generation, I talk about LeBron cycle, like his generation of
Cronius.
people he have around him, like Draymond. Even Melo didn't like that. Notice how long it take Melo to come play at
I'm
LeBron.
saying Melo
LeBron
ain't
been
like
asking Melo to come there from 2010 when they
LeBron got
stay in
three.
Miami.
LeBron got three best friends: Melo, Wade, Chris Paul. None of them like that.
Say what?
Right. So you ain't even his mom best friend. His mom
Exactly.
don't invite you no banana boat. And you
That's
don't
why I said,
Why come on, man? If
how
you
you
think
get
I'm right,
loving this man so
you think I'm
much.
right with that graded? Come on, man. Let's be real.
I agree. LeBron is very frenzy. Even his recent
LeBron's
admiration
great.
of Curry seems so weird.
He's calculated. That's what
But
LeBron is.
I love a man.
LeBron
That
is
love of a
very
man.
calculated.
But
He's
that was
very,
weird to
very,
me.
very calculated. Right? Very, very calculated. He pick and choose to put out certain things for strategic purposes, whether it serves his agenda or not. Right? Like you say, his adoration recently for Steph Curry. If he feels as if he could sway this nigga away from Golden State to get him on the Lakers, if he see a weakness there, he would. He put
I
out the
don't
thing
think
in the air about whoever dropped Bronny, I guarantee there, right? It's strategic. You see what I'm saying?
but
He
I
know
don't
his
think
son,
that
he ain't getting drafted. They gotta put that out there so someone
Make
can
sure
drop him
you get
and
yeah,
yeah.
because
go on the team.
that boy ain't even the best player on the team. But anyway, I don't think he did that to get Steph Curry to come to the Lakers because that still probably ain't gonna happen. I think the reason why LeBron has an admiration for a lot of these players is for the fans. Because you gotta realize if you was a heated rival with some of these top fellas, you gonna realize you gonna lose a lot of your. That's what Kobe them problem was. Like you had Kobe lovers, but you had some Kobe friggin' haters because Kobe didn't like, let's say, Shaq. Kobe didn't like on the court. I would say Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen. Obviously, he hated Ray
Right.
Allen.
He hated Ray Allen. In real
Um,
life, he hated Ray Allen.
yeah, real talk. And then like that, it'll be like, boy, I don't fool with Kobe because he don't fool with my guy. But it's almost like, if I like Steph, and Steph's obviously at some point you realize that Steph was the most popular NBA player in the league from like 2015 to probably 2018. Steph jersey was the highest selling. His popularity around the world was going skyrocket. So it's like Steph has a very big fan base on and off the court because obviously his wife too is throw all type of stuff out there like Jada. But um it's like, wait, okay, if I could friend this guy and then it gets to say that, hey, me and this guy ain't really beefing. His friends or his fans tend to not say like me too, but now they start to calm down a little bit because it's like, oh, well, him and Steph cool.
Yeah, him and
So
Steph like
yeah, LeBron he
niggas
ain't really that bad. That's almost like when LeBron first come to the Lakers, and him and Kobe was doing these half court hugs and these sideline taps when Kobe and Gigi was on the sideline and LeBron going up and tap him before the game. It's like, I mean, I still don't like LeBron, but I was like, I guess Kobe respect him a little piece. I mean, he ain't that bad of a guy. But then after a while, it'd be like, yeah, F LeBron.
he's
But
calculated. He's calculated.
yeah, I think it's that in that
Yeah.
aspect. That's why he friends up a lot of the superstars. You notice he don't even say nothing bad about Durant like that.
Yeah. He
Like
likes
Durant's supposed to be his legit arch nemesis. If you was one, Durant is two. So Durant was supposed to be the guy. Like every time you face Durant, you supposed to be going
But
crazy.
he
yeah.
and Durant had couple things. I think they had like a segment. Remember now that lady, that dumb lady was like, I'm just shut up and dribble, and him and Durant did this whole video when he's in the car.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
But
I
I
hated
mean, like,
that.
yeah,
That didn't make no sense to me.
It's funny.
that whole Durant thing, he
Yeah,
been doing it.
Durant
Like,
was uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah.
That was LeBron idea, and you
Yeah.
could see Durant was uncomfortable as hell.
Funny.
Because it's like we standing up for a cause together, but don't make it seem like on the court, like we basketball friends.
Yeah.
We just standing up for a cause that
I and
we're
I think
modern athletes.
I think too, LeBron like to control his own narrative. But LeBron, he's very narrative based, right?
yeah,
So anything around him, he trying to control. Like I saw something on the other day on Twitter, AG. The other day, I saw something on Twitter with one boy say he did an investigation, and you know the official team accounts when you lose and when you win, they post a graphic, they post a picture or whatever of the final score or whatever, and they post a player on the graphic to say, okay, this is the final. They say for the Lakers, LeBron has never ever been on a losing graphic, never once, right?
I mean, they lose.
They
They
lose, they putting up someone like T.
Malik Monk.
Thornton Tucker or flipping or they put Tucker, they put Ariza, or they put Avery Bradley. But he never been on a losing one. On the winning ones, he's the player who been there the most times. If they win, they put his picture there. If they lose, they never post a picture there. And they check to see if other teams doing the same thing. Other teams don't do that. If the Bucks lose, they put in Giannis' face on the thing saying the Bucks lose or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah, because that's their star.
I say, boy, LeBron. I say it would not surprise me at all if LeBron is behind us. It don't.
yeah,
It wouldn't surprise me at all because that's just the type of person he is. He likes to
him
do
or
all this.
his team or someone in his organization. Yeah,
Yeah, but don't post me when we losing.
yeah, they
Don't do
calculate
that.
it through.
You want people to think I associate with losing. I don't want people to think that. You know what I
What?
mean?
Yeah, because they don't watch the actual games and seeing you lost in the final 6, 7 times and all this other stuff. Yeah, we just missing all that. We just can look at the post and believe that you're a winner because you beat the Charlotte Hornets in 1994. But yeah, the whole I don't know. Draymond is a lover of man. LeBron has been also a lover of men, not just man. Draymond only is love man, but LeBron love men. But yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know why. But at some point, I could be real. For Draymond to still be in the league at this point is a surprise. And
Man, you got to stop, man.
it's literally only because of that team. Like real talk, Draymond doesn't produce. Look at his stats. Please tell me, what other team would he actually contribute? What other team he would even start on with that start line? Look at all the other starting power forwards in the league
I think
and
Draymond.
tell me where he'd be turning a team into something with sense. Another team that's already built, and you're still going to be the third, fourth option.
On offense.
No, on the team, like third or fourth offense, regardless. Because defensive wise, you always hype him, but even defensively in the past 2 seasons, he ain't really been spectacular neither. So if he go to certain teams, let's say he go to Milwaukee, he ain't the best defender on the team. He go to Brooklyn, he ain't the best defender on the team. He go to Philadelphia, he ain't the best defender on the team.
That's
He go to Miami, he ain't the best defender on the team. So it's like, even if you go to a top team, you still ain't even the best defender on the top team.
I think we'll see Draymond's value defensively in the playoffs. Um, as long as he's healthy, I think we'll see his value
Playoffs?
defensively in the playoffs.
Draymond, Draymond, would,
Playoffs?
Draymond would be the best defender on the Lakers if AD ain't playing.
Boy, I just gonna, boy, you listen, you, boy, I gonna flip, boy, I can cut right off just now. I don't care. AD could be out there like, with a torn Achilles and he'd be a better defensive player
If AD
than
is,
Draymond.
if AD is not playing, which he usually isn't, Draymond will be the best.
That's really dog though.
Lakers could actually use someone like Draymond. For someone like Draymond
Wait,
and Stanley Johnson
With no shooters?
Lakers need a
Fellas,
right.
well,
riding the hell out of Malik Monk right now because he on a little hot streak. You
yeah,
put Draymond on that team, the same pick and that fella shoot.
I'm talking about defense. I'm talking
Wait,
about,
Lakers
You
need.
know, boy, Draymond wouldn't add that win total at all.
yes, he
Speaking
will.
of which,
How?
anyway,
You realize
Lakers
that we don't get beaten close games, you know. You watch these Lakers games, you watch the game tonight, you realize the Mavericks score must see 82 points at halftime. The
They
score
get
at
pumped.
halftime was must see 83 to 50. Like you was down 30 at halftime.
Yeah,
What
y'all,
Draymond could have done?
y'all also was on 23 last game and y'all lose it.
Exactly. So
Against
what
Pelicans.
tell me what
So it
where
ain't
is
just shooting. It ain't just shooting. It's defense.
yeah, but even with
It's
defense,
everything. Bro. It's everything.
even with defense, you ain't even putting up enough points, bro.
They like how much games on the 500 yards? What 12, 15 games on the 500?
Too much games.
I think
Like
they have to be 10th place right now.
They 11. Bro. They just follow the plan.
yeah, what's he turn on 11? Now I see a report saying LeBron and AD is playing on Friday.
Well, if I'm the Lakers, I shut LeBron and AD down, but it don't really make no sense this season. I mean, what you going to playing for to get your head Martian? It'd be more embarrassing you losing the plane. You might as well just miss the plane one time and just let people forget about the season.
No, they say AD and LeBron playing Friday. So If AD come back, LeBron there ain't no excuse. But I like they coming back because, like I say, I's a Laker fan, but I ain't really pulling for LeBron. This the Lakers could be there after LeBron goes. So when he go, I could start pulling us for us to win at some point. But as long as LeBron there, and torch these niggas, we beat them by 40. I can't wait. Torch them. Beat them by 40 and let him do what he got to do.
Yeah, embarrassing. My gosh. Uh, any final words before we sign off? It's been a late one. We ain't really getting to everything we want to get to, but any final words?
What about y'all and slap a boot? We get into all the highlights. I mean, uh, shout out the GOAT, Tom Brady, uh, who's not just the GOAT in football, but looks like in team sports. I could say team sports. I wouldn't say individual sports because people like Tiger Woods and Serena Williams, they have individual sports that have a higher standard.
Used to go.
But team sport, shout out, dog. Thanks for coming back, giving me one more year. I got to see a Tampa Bay game. I might send you some highlights from Tampa Bay this year. But yeah, shout out already, And Gronk, you know what to do. Why you hanging up so long? What Gronk doing? Gronk coming for the veterans minimum, me. Like I haven't see dog doing nothing. What happened? Anyway, yeah. I see. Didn't they lose OJ Howard?
Yeah.
I think I saw OJ Howard sign a 1 year deal someplace else. Oh Lord, Gronk really killed that man career too because dog was on the path of being a top tight end. He's gonna be at least top 10. Ah Lord, I'll sorry there that.
Yeah, shout out all the beam and at least doing their thing still. You know what I mean? Much respect to y'all. Aiden. You know what I mean? Buddy. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, man.
He also shines too. Was
Shout out to y'all still.
thousands of behaviors athletes. Buddy. Shout out to the night league too. I see they have night league players starting what day is Tuesday? I think Thursday or Friday. Shout out to sports being back. Flag football started this week, Sunday. Pass. We have flag football officially back. Now we got night league starting officially back. Guys are ramping up for government league in June. So it's glad to see after 2 years
Let's get back.
hiatus, sports is now making a comeback in the Bahamas. All your athletes and up and coming people or people who are already past their prime and just trying to stay fit and keep it going. Shout out to everybody, staying active, staying healthy.
Yep. If no final shout outs, then we'll catch y'all later. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Once again, y'all catch us next week, Tuesday. Same time, same place, hopefully. Right. Until then, catch y'all later. We link. Experts out.